Okay, so welcome, guys. This is our first ever formally recorded podcast for Digenet. It's something that we've been trying. We talked about it before the recent pandemic. We kept saying we should do this, and then during the recent pandemic, we kept saying, "Oh, we got to start doing this," and then afterwards, we kept saying we got to do this, and we had a lot of good conversations. And partway through almost every conversation, one of us said, "Shit, we should be recording this." So here we are. We're recording this. I am Armand. On our screen, as you can see us below me, we got Raymond or El Relo. Which one do you want to be called for this thing?
You can call me Raymond.
I can call him Raymond.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Go my real name.
Okay, we can call him Raymond. And up here we have Quentin. Call me Al. No, we can't call you Al.
I don't know where Al
Where
came
did
from.
Al come from?
You guys don't know that what's his name? Fuck. Who Simon and Garfunkel? Paul Simon. That song he
They
has in
called
the
him
80s.
Al.
Call me Al. I can be your bodyguard and you can be my blah blah pal. I
Nah,
can call you Betty and Betty you can call me at. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. Never
no,
mind. Okay. That I guess that's too white for this conversation.
very.
Okay. Well,
Wow.
you guys know what Paul Simon is though, right?
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Simon and Garfunkel.
Right, I've heard them.
Yeah, that's
No,
too white for me.
that's pretty white. Okay. It's also probably too old. That's a seven. They were big in the '70s, early '80s kind of thing.
Mm,
What do they sing? Bridge over troubled water? Was that them? Anyway. Okay, so that's Quentin, the guy in the green. And somebody at some point in time is going to turn you into a green screen. I can just feel it.
maybe.
Old screen.
There we go. Okay, so we have topics to talk about, and we've been talking about the recent pandemic. That's the one thing I wanted to bring up was I want to talk about the world as we know it has changed because of that, right? And we're calling it the recent pandemic because there was a period of time where YouTube didn't allow you to say the name of it. And I still don't know if that's still a thing. So we're going to be safe. We're going to call it the recent pandemic. So the world before, during, and after. So let's talk about how things have changed. Oh, and actually, first off, let's talk about why we can't say the word. So I guess people discussing it because the internet is a fun place, but it's also a place where people say things. They say anything they want, right?
Yep.
And people believe what they hear. And are most people on the internet scholars who know what the hell they're talking about?
No.
Yep,
Most
they're
scholars aren't on the internet. Or I'm sorry. Most scholars aren't on. You don't use social media.
yeah. Most people on the internet who talk about stuff with a whole lot of confidence don't know jack about what they're talking about. It's kind of like that's almost like the relationship. The less you know, the more confident you are about it, right?
Hell
So
yeah.
so people were saying all sorts of stuff about the recent pandemic and how it spreads and blah blah blah, and oftentimes they're wrong. Great example. I was in a 99-cent store. This was when they started letting people into stores, but they wouldn't let you in like as a crowd. You had to get in line outside to get in the store. So I'm in the 99-cent store, and there's this dude in the refrigerated section. I see him, and he's got like six or seven other people around him, and he's like really talking with his hands. It's like he's like an Italian dude, right? I walk over there to listen to what they're talking about, and everybody's wearing their masks, kind of like a diaper, like they got their nose sticking out of it, right? And he's talking about how he avoids getting it, and this is great. He avoids getting it by every time when he comes home, he takes a hair dryer, puts it in his mouth, and sets it on the high heat setting. Yeah, and
That's
these people, yeah,
innovative.
that's what he was telling these people, and they were like listening to him like really, really intently. Women nodding their heads. That's a good idea. They really thought that's because they thought that heat killed it, right? So he said, and I'm not going to make the motion because we like to make fun of certain things here, but he makes the motion of putting a hair dryer in his mouth, right? And he's forming the O ring with his lips, right, as if he's
Hmm.
sucking on a hair dryer. And I wish I'd recorded it because it looked great, right? But he puts a hair dryer in his mouth and he turns it on high heat and he just inhales that heat. That's what he says he does. and that
Yeah.
that kills the virus. Of course, that's wrong. Okay, but he was so confident, and everybody believed him, right? So that's the reason why they kind of censor stuff that talks about it, because people say stuff like that. Our own president talked about what was it?
Using
Drinking
bleach.
which that's an effective way to kill everything, including yourself,
Right.
right? Or like taking shots of Lysol, that just does not work.
Yeah, we had one. In order to get rid of the virus, you had to eat watermelon.
What?
Yep, watermelon was curing the virus for us.
And where did you hear that one?
It just came up through the grapevine. Like people was like, man, I caught it. And you know what saved me? What? I was eating watermelon. I'm not gonna lie, I ate me some watermelon when I caught it too.
I mean, I do that. I do that anyway. It's an excuse to eat watermelon, right?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, the main thing was like if you had caught it or not was just like you did have to eat fluids, and at a certain point in time, you couldn't eat solid food. I think for like a couple of days, I didn't want to eat anything. So I remember like I was like, give me some Chinese food. I had a taste for Chinese food, but once it got there, I could not eat it. So it stayed like on the desk for like 2, 3 days.
I'm telling you, I mean, like it changed. I mean, like food. I mean, it changed the way that we ate in a lot of ways, right? And when
Hmm.
I say that that recent pandemic forced a lot of closures. A lot of restaurants couldn't last, right?
Yeah.
And okay, now everything comes back down to this. This is a podcast really about entrepreneurship. We talk about a lot of things business. We talk about entrepreneurship, and a lot of people when they think of entrepreneurship being owning their own business, a lot of people's minds drift towards restaurants because it's something that everybody everybody experiences and everybody knows. Oh yeah, restaurant owners, that's an entrepreneur, and they are. But
True.
that form of entrepreneurship suffered greatly. Okay, though some of them kicked ass during that time, right?
Yep.
If your business model was primarily delivery, right, you kicked ass, right? Because even during that time where people couldn't go out to pick stuff up, you could deliver, right? So
Yep.
places like pizza places just ruled during the pandemic, right? Pizza places, that's the perfect model. And on top of that, pizza places had this really, that moment in time was like the perfect storm for success as a pizza place. Okay, we talk about this a lot. Like for example, in the coffee business, what's the most expensive component for a place like Starbucks when they make their coffee and they give it to you to consume? When they make you a cup of coffee, what's the most expensive thing? I mean, no matter what kind of coffee it is, black coffee, those fancy blended drinks, what's the most
Hmm.
expensive single component in a serving of Starbucks?
I mean,
Like
if it's
if you
coffee, the syrup
no, yeah,
or
okay,
the
okay. So
creamer.
if you take everything they had to put together to make
Hmm.
that product to hand to you, and you're gonna drive away with it, what's the single most expensive thing?
I want to
It
say
might
the
be the
cup.
cup.
It is the cup. Okay, the cup is the most expensive thing. Okay, so let's flip that around and let's talk about pizza. When it comes to
Mm.
pizza, what's the single most expensive thing that goes into making the pizza for you?
So
Was
is
you
it the
about to tell me the
box?
box?
And that's not the box.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was gonna say
The
it gotta
dough.
be the pizza
Well, no, but
or the
things
delivery.
no things go into the pizza. I mean, like all the things that make a pizza, right?
Uh huh.
There's tomato sauce, there's dough. I mean, like all the stuff that
The
makes up a
cheese.
pizza. That is it. The cheese. The cheese is the most
Yeah.
expensive component in the whole pizza. But during that pandemic, the price of cheese fell through the floor, right? So this is
Yeah.
the perfect storm. Suddenly, their competition was eliminated. See, if you wanted to order Papa John's or Domino's, you were also considering other options. Oh, I'm gonna go get takeout Chinese food, right? Or I'm gonna eat in at McDonald's. So there's a lot of options out there, but that situation eliminated everything except for delivery for a period of time. You couldn't go to the restaurant to pick it up. You had to have it delivered for a period of time. Okay, and then after a
Mhm.
while, you had to pick it up. You couldn't dine in, right? they were perfectly positioned for that, right? So their model is delivery, and their most expensive component is cheese. Cheese prices drop through the floor because so what is the competition for cheese purchasing? What other businesses buy a lot of cheese besides pizza places?
Mm, I can go. I mean, I would say like burger places. Are you talking about just restaurants?
Well, no, I mean that's the thing. All the other restaurants buy a lot of cheese, right?
Yeah,
Hospitality, hotels,
yeah.
restaurants. Were any of them open during this time? No. So the
No,
demand for cheese plummeted. Only people
true.
buying cheese were the pizza places, really. Okay, and the funny thing about cheese is that there was this huge amount of cheese ready to be delivered during that cycle. And the low cheese prices didn't last the whole time.
No.
In the beginning, it did because there was all this cheese ready to be, because the cheese manufacturers, the dairy people, were manufacturing their product for all the hospitality places that they expected to service. And all of a sudden, they wouldn't, right? So they had to blow that cheese out. So suddenly, you had cheese going for pennies on the. I mean, like super cheap cheese, and no competition. So pizza places just suddenly found themselves ruling the whole landscape of food. Okay,
Mm.
it's funny, and I get this from an interview that H3 Productions did with Papa John himself.
Mm.
They interviewed him during the early stages of the pandemic, and he talked about the price of. He talked about why pizza places are really just kicking ass at that moment in time. Okay, so as an entrepreneur, right? There are you got to be careful about what you do. You have to realize that no matter how good the idea is, how great the business plan looks, something could step in and throw a wrench into your works, right? Something like the pandemic could suddenly take an awesome idea and shut it down. Okay,
Yeah.
something like what we got going on now with with the way the government is handling things, right? Some businesses have suffered, right, because of the way things are happening right now. Okay, so there's always something going on, but the pandemic it also gave rise to another thing that I don't agree with. Okay, delivery apps.
You don't believe in delivery apps?
Well, not that I don't believe in them; they definitely exist, right? But here's the
Yeah.
thing. Now, from a practical point of view, now I realize that a lot of the stuff that I have pet peeves about, see, they're my personal pet peeves.
Mm.
And if a business is good, I would do a business that I didn't particularly like if it was a cash cow,
Yeah.
right? I'm not saying that it shouldn't exist. I'm just saying that as a consumer, I try not to use them because delivery apps typically add a cost to something, right? And it
It's
affects
more
quality,
expensive.
right? Why would you pay extra money to have somebody deliver your Starbucks to you, right?
I wouldn't have people deliver Starbucks, but like from being in a restaurant and like dealing with restaurant business, um, it does like maximize and give you a certain actual like how can I say guarantee profit.
Mm-hmm.
Like the restaurant I'm in now will probably get about 20, probably more, about like 40 like orders through DoorDash and Uber Eats.
Oh yeah,
And it's funny because like we charge more on DoorDash than Uber Eats.
from a business perspective, I see it, but I'm talking about for myself. See, so and I've taught you guys this before, and the people in our coaching group, you know, you'd never see if I was trying to evaluate a delivery app or delivery business opportunity, I wouldn't look at it. I wouldn't look at it from my personal perspective, right?
Yeah,
Because what I feel about it is not necessarily how the public feels. So,
right.
so what I'm talking about right now, I'm not saying it's a bad business model. I'm just saying for me as a consumer, I just couldn't understand. I mean, like, and me and Jerome talked about this at length about coffee, especially because Jerome knows somebody who gets Starbucks delivered to them daily.
Right.
Right? It's like man, okay, now if you're totally made of money, it doesn't matter, right? I guess. But it does in a way,
Yeah.
right? Certain products, the best time to consume it is when it's handed right to you. You guys ever eat? Okay, I'm positive you guys have had In-N-Out Burger before, right?
Right.
Okay. When I go to In-N-Out Burger, okay, and I'm practically putting the car in gear, I'm already reaching in the bag to get a handful of fries, because the
Yep.
fries are not any good like 10 minutes later.
True.
Okay, or at least they're not as good. But to me, the moment it comes through my window and that's when you eat the fries. I'll eat the fries first, right? Because
Right.
that's not worth eating later on, right? So that's one example. A chilled Starbucks drink, those frap drinks. They're basically, they're kind of like slushies in a way. They're blended iced drinks, and
Yeah.
when you get them brand new, you drink them. It's like drinking, it's like a granita machine type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all those things, when they start to melt, it loses
They
a lot of,
separate.
separates. It loses a lot of the quality of it, right? So for me, why would I want to have my Starbucks delivered to me if the product is going to be lower quality when it gets to me? There's no way it's not, right? Because Starbucks, the
Yeah.
best time to drink is when you first get it handed to you. In-N-Out
Right.
Burger, when you first get that, that's when you want to eat that part. Certain Chinese foods. Okay, there's some Chinese food that you have to you gotta pick it up and you gotta eat it. You gotta eat it right when you get home, right?
Mhm.
Typically, when you get something delivered, who knows how long it sits on that counter before the guy gets it and gets it to you, right? By the time it gets to you, I don't know about here, but if you ever had New York Chinese food, like New York City Chinese food, it's known to be really greasy, right? And they put it in those takeout containers, right? It's so greasy that the takeout container just falls apart at some point in time. That's
Yep.
how greasy it is. And the funny part is that's why it's going to sound really bad, but that's a
That's exactly
quality
why
of it
we
that you
want it.
like it. It's like, yeah, when it's hot. The
Yep.
second that thing turns even lukewarm, that grease coagulates and it's no longer food. It's nasty. And so, yeah, for me, I wouldn't. And it's essentially, if you're using a service like that, you're paying extra money to get your food at a lower quality. That's how I look at it, right? There's some food that's designed to be delivered, right? Like pizza. See, most places where the food was designed to be delivered already has delivery built into it,
Right.
right? See, if a restaurant doesn't have delivery built into it, its product is
It's not meant to be delivered.
meant to
I
be
never
delivered.
thought about it like that.
Right? Because the preparation is different. It's created in such a way that it's made to get you receiving it like I like Domino's. No matter what people say, I like Domino's. It gets here and it's good. I mean, like if the delivery guy gets it to me in the right time, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why Domino Delivery, they used to guarantee a certain amount of time to get to you, so that what was it? Less than X number of minutes.
30 minutes or less, wasn't
30
it?
minutes or less, right? It's not just for convenience purposes. It's designed that way for the quality of the product. Okay. Like one thing
Yeah.
that never should be delivered is a salad. In the second that, salads start to wilt, right?
It depends if you got dressing on it.
True. But it's always best not to get it delivered. I mean, like, so and a lot of and some restaurants, because when things like DoorDash first came out, they were servicing restaurants that they didn't have contracts with,
Right.
right? They were just taking orders and they were putting the orders through, right? And the restaurants had no idea that their products were being delivered until they started getting complaints about quality. They're like, what's going on? Why am I getting these quality complaints? It's because that the food's being delivered. They had no idea. They thought that these were just regular takeout orders from regular people, but they weren't. They were takeout orders to be delivered. And so some of these restaurants actively tried to be removed from the services because there's no
Oh
way.
yeah. You used to be able to just add somebody to it.
Yeah. So for me, the rise of the delivery service happened during that time. So before that time, people were like, they were on the fence about delivery. It's just like, that's extra. I mean, like you were thinking, do I want to get delivered? I can just go pick it up myself, right? Like if you ever had Papa John's, right? Papa John's does not do they deliver? I can't remember.
Yeah, they have a delivery service.
Do they? Because they have a price for pickup, and so does Domino's. Domino's has a pickup price, and they have
they have delivery price.
Yeah. So I can't remember if Papa John's has delivery as well as pickup. So you wonder, do I really want to? So you kind of debate, do I want to pay the extra money for it to be delivered, right? But then when the pandemic happened, it became a thing that had to be done, right? So you kind of, and now people are like, I know that someone that it's funny during this since we know this conversation is going to be out there, I can't say names. Normally I'd say who these people are, right? But I can't say it. So we'll just say someone that we know. Someone that I know orders delivery that way like 5-6 times a week.
Yeah.
See,
they probably don't want to get up and leave.
Since I don't do it, I don't know how often it gets done for most people. But
from being in a restaurant perspective, I see a couple people on a daily. Like, really? I'll be like, damn, ordering again.
Delivery or takeout or
delivery?
Delivery.
I have recurring customers daily too. Like it goes down like that. Like, I mean, for some people, it's just like some people don't know how to cook.
Yeah.
Another like there's several scenarios like because I also have people who come in wearing pajamas. Those are the type of people where it's just like it's better for you to just use DoorDash. Don't even embarrass yourself.
Don't embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
But okay, that's another thing. I think now, is the pajama in public thing a result of the pandemic, or is it just was that just happening?
That's always been a dirty person thing.
I believe it increased though. You think
it increased?
Yes. Yeah.
I just think people. I don't know. I mean, it's weird. People kind of let themselves go during that time, and they became more comfortable with being that way in public. Right. So, I mean, I see a lot of people walking around. I mean, not just pajamas, but they got like, there are slippers, and then there's slippers that are meant to only be worn while you're in pajamas. Right.
Oh, yeah.
So people walk around in slippers all the time, but I'm seeing like, house slippers with pajama. I saw a person, this is weird. Okay. And tell me if this is normal. I went to the movie theater and there were people in line to buy popcorn and stuff. They had a blanket. Okay. They had a blanket with them, and which I've seen before. Cause sometimes those places get cold. Right. But they had a blanket and they were in pajamas. It looked like a sleepover party. They were in pajamas. They had slippers on. They had a blanket. I'm looking at them going, do they realize they're not at home? Have you guys seen that? People like full on like pajama party at the movie theater?
Only remember when we had drive-ins.
I mean, drive-ins, it's okay. I mean, that's kind of cool. That
was it.
I don't miss like the pandemic in the movie theaters for me. Like I was already slowing down the movie theaters, but once the pandemic hit, I'm off the movie theaters. I don't want to go to the movie.
So here we go. Anymore. That's an area we talk. I mean, that's something that definitely wasn't affected by the recent pandemic is the way that we consume movies. Right?
Yeah.
The rise of streaming. Okay, streaming was kind of like starting beforehand because there was already Netflix, right? But it was the only one really. Right. See, Netflix was kind of.
There was Hulu. There was Hulu.
Barely. I mean, even now, Hulu is like infinitesimally small, right? I get
what you're saying.
I'm saying among the big ones, right? See, the reason why that was even invented, that kind of didn't Netflix start off as a you actually got a disc thing?
Believe so.
Yeah.
You had to return it in the grocery store.
You saying Netflix was like Redbox?
Yeah, it was the original Redbox. Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny, and it wasn't that long. I think I don't even remember that.
Hold on, Quentin, bring up an extra screen. Let's take a look. How did Netflix start? I really believe that Netflix was, maybe not. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong.
I mean, there was a time where, like Redbox, you go to the grocery store, bam, there's some movies
Dude,
right there.
it's not there
And
was a time. There's still
that was a
dude.
big thing.
There still is a red box. It's out there. I've seen one.
Yeah,
Yeah, no. Some people still got DVDs.
That's weird though. I mean, like, who in their right mind goes like, let's go to the grocery store and check out the red box vending
My dad.
machine. Does your dad do that?
My dad, the type of person where he still got a DVD player. Like, he still has regular cable. And, like, me and my brothers be like, people don't do regular cable no more, Dad. He don't get it. And, like, I think we just introduced him to Netflix where he uses Netflix. But I still be telling him, I be like, bro, nobody uses this type of stuff. Even, like,
I guess
even for the stuff that he does watch.
I guess if you're frugal, I mean, like, the problem with services like Netflix and all the other streaming services is it puts almost everything at your fingertips, and you can look up if what's available. And has this ever happened to you guys? You look it up, you go on your smart TV, and you search for something, like you search for Little Shop of Horrors, you search for the Goonies or whatever, and it shows you where it's available and how much it costs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking on that list. Do I subscribe to any of these services? Because if I subscribe, I got it, right?
Yep.
Have you ever seen something that was not in your subscription list and you went and signed on for a free trial just so you could watch it?
Yep.
And next thing you know, you forgot that you're on a free
I'm
trial.
on it. Yep.
Dude, that happened to me. Okay, so my streaming services go to one of my credit cards. They're on my American Express, right?
Mm.
And I was paying my American Express today. And I took a look. I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, Amazon. What is all this? Sometimes I don't even look, right? It's all my streaming, right? So I went in today and said, oh man, I'm seeing streaming services I'm paying for it I don't remember using in the past like 4 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I went in today and canceled a bunch of stuff that I don't feel like I needed. And not only that I did not need, I have it through another service, right? So I've got like, I want to say I've got like HBO twice. I have HBO through Prime and HBO straight through HBO.
Oh, yeah. You can't do that.
Right?
That's irritating.
Oh, man. So, and I realized that, and not only that, my HBO that I've got, I don't pay for because my son's paying for it, right? So I'm like, oh, why am I paying for HBO when my son pays for HBO? Screw it. So I canceled out a bunch of my services. Do you know how much I'm saving a month right now? $60-something. I've been paying $60 a month. Right? I kept the ones that I use, but I canceled the ones that I don't need, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
that adds up.
Yeah. It's like, why do I have Shudder? Like, okay, so Shudder is a horror. It's like they have small independent horror movies, right?
Yeah.
And I signed on to watch one thing. I think something starring Bruce Campbell. I wanted to watch one thing, and I didn't cancel it, right? So I'm like, why do I need Shudder? And that's where the concept of Redbox kind of, if you really want to be frugal, the problem with all these streaming services is that not only do they add up, but you can end up stuck there, right? Watching crap that you don't really want to watch. You kind of say, oh, look, this is on. Oh, let's watch it. Because you don't really passionately want to watch it. You say, oh, it's on. Let's watch it. Right? And
now I got your Netflix information though.
Oh, let's hear it. So how did it start?
Netflix began in 1997 as a mail order DVD service founded by Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph.
That's right. It was. I remember that. I remember you would receive it, you'd watch it, and you'd send it back. It came with.
Oh wow!
That's right. That's right. It came with a return envelope. I remember that. It came with a return envelope. So you got it, you wash it, and you would mail it back.
Man, that seems slow.
It was.
Remember, but that's 1997, so that's before Redbox came out and put those. Wait,
but it was Blockbuster before.
Wait, did it say that did it ever have a thing where you? Did it have a Redbox type thing where you had a kiosk or something?
Let me check. Redbox came out in 2002.
Okay. See, so Netflix is for someone too lazy to go to Blockbuster.
But it's still gonna take you like 3-4 days to get your movie.
Well, no, I guess what you do is you go in and you order them in cycles. So you get it and you watch it and you send it back. Another one comes and
there was like a maximum that you could rent. Certain people had maximums. If they didn't send them back, they got lowered. That's what I remember. Certain people who sent them back like religiously, I think they got up to like 10 to 12,
And
something like
you order them online, right? You order them online, you receive them in the mail, and then it's kind of like you can pick. Okay, I want to watch this one next. I want to watch. So you choose what you're going to watch. So basically, you choose like 5 movies, and then they'll come to you, and then you send them back. So okay, so that's why it's called Netflix, because you order them online.
Okay.
You order them online, you receive them in the mail. Okay, that's very humble beginnings for what is now like the world's largest streaming service.
Well, yeah, and it, like I give them a lot of props. They've been doing this for over 20 years. I
Yeah.
did not expect Netflix to be going that long.
Okay, yeah.
I thought this was something like after 2010.
No, dude, no. Red. I mean, they're the old school versions. I mean, like Redbox. Now Redbox came along, and now instead of having to, I guess now there's this kiosk, and I wonder how that even works. Like, do you go, do you go to Redbox and say, oh man, did somebody return something yet? Dude, do you
Did
guys
you
remember?
ever use the Redbox?
Do you guys remember going to Blockbuster and like hoping somebody returned something because you want to watch it?
no,
Yep.
not just that. I remember going to Blockbuster and them telling you, yes, such and such is going to bring it back by 8 o'clock, and you're
Yes,
sitting there
we're
waiting
expecting
for
it by 8. Yeah, and you're waiting for it,
Yeah.
right?
Or yeah, they'll like they would have the return bin, and you will be like, okay, well, what you got in the return bin? Like I think for me, like movies was a big thing, but really the biggest thing was video games for me. It was like, all right, what
Okay.
video game we got today? You know what I'm saying? Like, especially back in like the late '90s, that was the biggest thing because my mom was not buying these games at that point in time.
Yep. So I'm telling you, man, like I think streaming services had a massive boost during that period of time, right? Because
Definitely, I mean, because people were like streaming and just like things like YouTube,
Mhm.
Twitch. You
Yeah,
know, that became
yeah,
a thing because people were just at home with nothing to do.
yeah, and
Oh,
that
Instagram Live. I
yeah,
remember Instagram Live. Like, I never liked Instagram Live until the pandemic.
yeah, and things have changed now. So now that's one of those things that change and it's stuck around, right?
Mhm.
So now we've realized the convenience of those services. One other big thing that changed, I mean, like we'll talk as time goes by, people find out more about us as individuals and what we do. As a consultant, right? I spent a lot of time in live meetings prior to the
Yeah.
pandemic. I consulted for all sorts of organizations. I was like one of my clients is a newspaper, right? And they have a
Mhm.
meeting every week that I was expected to be at, right? And I had to drive to LA to be at that meeting. It was 10 a.m. or something like that. And then that pretty much dominates my day because you have to drive out to. I was living in Whittier at the time, so I got to drive out to LA, fight the traffic to get there. Then have to come. I mean, like my entire day. I don't want to say shot, but my entire day revolves around that. So I have try to set. I try to set live meetings around that area, so I don't have to spend too much time driving back. But that all and I kept telling them because I'm their consultant for mobile applications, right? And I'm a technology consultant for them, right? And I kept telling them I could easily be here over Zoom, the way that we're here now, right? I kept telling them it's same thing. I can see all of you, I can hear all of you. You can see me. I can share my computer with you guys more easily because when I was there, I had to deal with this clunky thing they had that worked half the time and didn't work half the time. So I ended up having to turn my little laptop around. It's a big ass table, and people. I mean, it's much better if I was just coming in through Zoom actually. Okay, but they're old school and they just couldn't. They for some reason to them they just couldn't see that me being on Zoom would be the same as me being there or better, right? Then the pandemic came, and that business still had to operate, right? So the meetings still had to happen, and everybody was coming in via Zoom now, right? They had to do it,
Mhm.
and now they still do it because they love it because it's the easiest way to pop into these things. People weren't coming late anymore, okay? Because we would have people show up late before. People could easily share their information, right? It was such an easy thing, right?
Mhm.
And they people learned to love remote meetings, right? So change things dramatically for in that way too. So streaming, remote meetings, the world's a different place now. Some things happened that and stuck around that so some industries suffered, right? So with the rise of streaming, what definitely suffered?
Movie.
Yeah, live theaters. I mean, like actually going there, the experience. And there's, I don't know, other movies that you guys watch in theaters still. Raymond, you're like you don't want to watch in movies period in theaters period, right?
I mean, I don't want, but it got now like, of course, with XD and 4D, and there are movies like that where it's like it does it justice to go and see it at the movie theaters. Like the biggest movie right now that I love that I wish I would have saw in movie theaters was Top Gun Maverick.
I did see that.
I should have went and saw that in theaters. I shouldn't have just waited till it came out. But it was also just like, one thing that happened to me during the pandemic was, hey, do you got your vax card? No. And they're like, oh, you can't come into the movie theater. I was like, I don't want to ever go to a movie theater anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they did make it hard. Yeah, vax card, masking up, keeping the distance, all that stuff. It was inconvenient. I'll admit that.
Very.
But I did see Top Gun Maverick in the theater, like close to the release date, and it was, I mean,
epic.
It was epic. It was awesome. But the thing, and it was epic because of the movie itself, the way that it was filmed. Seeing it on a screen that big was just incredible, right? But there's something to be said about the experience, though. Okay, so so out of all the movies I've seen, because I've been tied into that industry in some way, shape, or form for a long time, right? One of my most memorable experiences in a theater, and I had a really good time in this experience, was for a movie that was by all accounts is shitty, right? I watched which one was it? I watched Batman and Robin.
Oh, that bad one. But it was good in movie theaters. I saw that too,
dude. But I saw it opening night. I saw it opening night, and I saw it at what was called at that time the Man Chinese Theater.
Yeah.
Okay, so and it was in the main auditorium. If you've never been to the Man Chinese, I don't know if it's the same anymore because they did massive construction. They built a whole bunch of new auditoriums.
Yeah.
But at that time, the main auditorium was the original auditorium from the early days. So it's opulent. It's really crazily decorated, right? It's an old school 1920 something auditorium. It's huge. I mean, like it's massive. Okay.
Yeah.
You walk in there and it's the kind of place where you think you'd watch Phantom of the Opera live in. It's massive. So we get there, and we're in line to watch. We're in line for hours to get into this thing. Okay, because the auditorium is so big that it seats like thousands of people, right? So you're in line and there's no reserved seating.
Oh.
Okay, remember reserved seating didn't exist back then. You sat where you sat, right?
Yep.
So that's why you had to get in line because you want to get a good seat, got to get there early. So we get there early. Me and a whole bunch of friends are there, and some of the people are in the business, right? And so we're there, and we're having a really good time. It's almost like being early for Rose Bowl. I mean, for the Rose Parade, right? It's almost like a tailgate situation. So we're in line. We're talking to everybody all around us. We're talking to our little group, and of course, talking to people around us. We're talking about a lot of us were Batman fans, so we're talking all this stuff. So it was fun being in the line, believe it or not, and it was a good time of year. It was summer in LA. It feels good. So we're there, and then we get in, and of course, it's opening night. So they're either hardcore Batman fans or they're hardcore like cinephiles. So everyone in there is a movie person. They're there for it, right?
Yeah.
And we get all the food. We sit down and we watch it, and the audience is reacting to the movie the whole time. And no matter how cheesy, this is fun. This is the part that I remember. You guys remember who was in that movie, right? Like George Clooney. George Clooney. He refers to it as he killed Batman because after that movie came out, the whole thing just stopped. They didn't make any more of them. Oh, Raymond, your camera just zoomed in.
I'm sorry, I want to
There we go.
look a little bit
So
better.
so Clooney's in there as Batman, right? So
Mhm.
and so there's a couple bad guys. Okay,
Yeah,
you got Poison Ivy, who's Uma Thurman,
Uma Thurman.
and she's really vamping it up. She's trying to do a white lady Eartha Kitt impersonation, basically,
She was.
and it was good. I mean, like it was solid. I mean, like I enjoyed her in the role, and you had Bane, who was really nobody, just a big ass guy in a mask, right? But who was the other
Yeah.
bad guy?
Arnold Schwarzenegger, the
Yep,
Governor. He was the
Arnold.
Ice
Yep, he was playing Mr. Freeze, right?
Mr. Freeze. Yeah.
At the end, okay, so Mr. Freeze turns good at the end, right? So so this is the first time it came out. Nobody has seen this yet, right? So he produces. So Alfred the Butler has some sort of genetic disease, right? That
Mhm.
something related to Mister Freeze's wife's condition. So Freeze has been trying to find an antidote, but he's not there yet for his wife. But he's got the cure for what Alfred's got, right? So Freeze turns good at the end, and he gives these what, ampules, whatever, to Batman, and he's like, Schwarzenegger says, "Take two of these," and the entire audience is able to say the next line, right? Because Arnold Schwarzenegger is the king of the one-liners, right? The entire audience, along with Arnold Schwarzenegger, says, "And call me in the morning." We've never seen this movie, right? But we know
You
it's
know what he's
coming.
about to say.
The line.
We can feel it coming because it's Arnold. He's going to say that. And yeah, it was. I didn't, you read the critics' reviews of the movie afterwards, and I'm looking at the reviews. I'm like, that's not the movie that I saw.
You thought it was good.
It was good in the moment. I mean, I loved it. It was enjoyable to watch in the. Now, if I'd seen it on streaming, okay, if it was
Okay,
just
something
me
like this
sitting
is
on a couch,
horrible.
eating Domino's, seeing it on streaming, I'd be like,
Have you seen it since that day?
I don't remember if I have. I must have. I must have seen it.
I'm not gonna lie, because I remember that was like the movie of the summer. That was like for us. That was like the biggest thing. It was like that was the only movie. I think it was that, and I think Men in Black 2 was coming out or something like that.
Was it?
But
No. Okay.
I don't want to. Please don't call me. But I know it was something else that was coming out that year. But I remember that was like the big movie for that year, and I remember going seeing it, and I thought it was pretty good. And then
I
later
loved it
it
in
was
movie theaters.
like, huh?
I loved it in theaters. Great.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters too, but it was like it did like from Batman Forever because I remember I got into big arguments about it because that was my Batman. That was like the best Batman. I hadn't even seen the other Batmans, and I was like,
Batman Forever is Val Kilmer, right?
yeah, that
Okay.
one with the Riddler and
Yeah, and Two-Face.
Yeah, I didn't think nothing was touching that, and it was like they kept the same aesthetic,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
like
It was
you
similar.
know,
Yeah.
it was similar, but it was like it was not the same. Like you can feel that it wasn't the same.
Oh, so so upon second watching, you didn't. It kind of.
Upon first watching, like it was cool, but I was like, it ain't touching Batman Forever, so
Okay.
it was a failure in my eye.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm just thinking. I mean, like they couldn't make a movie like that now. If you think about it, I mean,
No.
look at how big that. I mean, the cast cost too much.
Yeah,
I mean, can you
and it was a
imagine?
lot. Man, it had a theme park ride.
Yes.
Tons of commercials. You can get a Burger King Batman meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
It
those
had
crazy
little
tie-ins.
boxes.
Yeah. In today's world, movies don't last long enough in theaters to have Happy Meal tie-ins anymore. Pretty much.
I walk by Burger King all the time, and I was like, "What is How to Train Your Dragon?" I don't know.
I guess
what
kids
that is.
movies are the ones that can be there. Yeah, like real kids movies.
I got a kid, and I'll be knowing stuff, and I'll be like, "What is How to Train?" We're not about to go watch that. And they got a Burger King meal. Nah,
Dude, that they made live action of that now.
yeah, that's what they're promoting right now, and it's like, okay, like you know what I'm saying? Like it don't movies to me like the streaming era has made it to where it doesn't have that type of effect no more.
Yeah. Streaming has changed the landscape now because some movies are just convenient to watch at home. I mean, like, okay, so there's some movie makers who just don't like it. Like, there's some movies that they feel like a good example of of a director who just hates streaming, and I'm gonna butcher his name, Denis Villeneuve.
You super butchered his name. Who is that?
It's he's French, I think. So his name is spelled Dennis, but it's pronounced Denis.
Denis?
He made Dune.
Okay.
Okay, so Dune is one of those things where they
Oh,
I mean, Dune is meant to be seen on the big screen, right?
yeah.
He made the way he created it. It loses something out of the theaters, right?
I get it because I swear to God, every time I try to watch Dune, I fall
He
asleep.
was really pissed when it streamed. You know, he was really upset that happened. That streaming happened.
I
Um,
think I would fell asleep if I was seen it in the movie theaters too, though.
yeah, but in his case, it was an artistic thing. Then on the flip side of things, you have people who, okay, from a money side of things. Like we talked about this before. Scarlett Johansson sued Disney because Black Widow went pretty much straight to streaming. So it opened and went straight to streaming. And under her contract, she had negotiated to get paid based on his performance in theaters,
Hmm.
right? So um, the argument I mean, her argument is that the fact that it was available on streaming allowed some people who would have seen it in the theater to see it in streaming instead. Okay, it's like heck, I'm paying for the streaming, and it's going to be there. I might as well see it there, right? They would have watched it in theaters, okay, but it came out, and so that definitely affected her bottom line in terms of what she's going to get paid for it. Okay, how much did it affect it? I mean, they worked it out. They figured it out. The lawsuit was settled just recently. I want to say within the past month that lawsuit settled, and they're not going to disclose numbers. But Disney had to pay her because under their contract, it wasn't going to be released on streaming for a certain amount of time, and they completely violated that. And I guess because they figured, and we talked about this, it's like if we release it on streaming, we're probably going to have to pay this lady something for that. But does it make sense to release it on streaming and then pay her? I mean, what's better for them? To not release it on streaming and let her get paid on box office sales, and how much would they? So in the end, I think that it was more profit. We in our talk we probably figured it's potentially more profitable for Disney to pay her out in a lawsuit and let it
Yep.
stream.
But it's paid out in the lawsuit. Don't be mad because I got to pivot. I'll give you
Yeah,
your bread.
yeah, probably. We'll never know. I mean, we may know like 10 years from now. They may unseal that, but we're not going to know now. But yeah, sir, some stars negotiate to get paid in the back end,
Mm-hmm.
and some producers probably do too. Okay, so that's changing the way things are made. Adam Sandler was the first of the big stars to sign a streaming contract. Netflix bought him, so I think they got him for 7 movies, and they've extended it obviously. So the last time we saw an Adam Sandler movie in theaters was what's it called? Grown Ups 2. I want to say that's like 2015, 2013. It's been a long time. He hasn't produced a movie in theaters in all that time.
Since 2015?
2013.
2013. We haven't seen Sandler in theaters since 2013. Right?
I mean,
Because Netflix
do
is
you,
paying.
do you need everything?
What's that?
Did we really need Adam Sandler at that time?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, like, see, that's the problem is that Adam Sandler made a certain kind of movie, right? He made it was a silly slapstick kind of ridiculous movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And ever since he stopped making that, but the thing is that he still makes that, but you got to be a Netflix subscriber to see it.
Yeah, I haven't seen Apple Gilmore 2 yet. I
Right?
gotta go see it.
I watch it. I've seen people hating on it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I mean, it's people are too critical of Adam Sandler movies because they're not high art. They never were. They're never going to be high art, right? It's just something to make you laugh, right? It's something that, especially, it's awesome on Netflix because you can pause it to see certain things, right? What I love about streaming is okay, I'm the kind of guy who hangs around for the credits at the end of movies, not just to watch whatever's after, but I like to hang out in credits. Sometimes I see people I know in it, right? But Adam Sandler movies have so many cameos, and other movies do too, right? You want to pause the credits. It's like you're looking at somebody in heavy makeup, and you're thinking that's got to be somebody, right? I pause the credits. Dude, Happy Gilmore 2 has so many cameos.
Yeah.
That I'm just pausing the credits just to look things, and I'll go back to them. I'll see a name in there. I'm like, he was in that. I'll go back to the movie to see it again. It's pretty amazing, dude. So many cameos. It's amazing. Somebody in the golfing world had major complaints about Happy Gilmore 2, saying Happy Gilmore makes golf into a joke.
That's the purpose.
That is the purpose. It's
a comedy movie.
Yeah, and the thing is that they feel like it disrespects the sport. That's their. This is a golf commentator. Okay, he feels like it's disrespecting the sport. But here's the funny part about that, dude. If you ever watch a movie, almost every living major golfer is in the movie.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
All the big time greats from the 80s are in that. If they're still alive, they're in that movie.
Because they watched the original Happy Gilmore and was like, man, I wish I was in that movie.
Dude, Happy Gilmore, movies like that make regular people want to play golf.
It did.
Right?
It made you want to play golf and possibly hockey.
Yeah.
honestly, on a real level, it was just funny.
Yeah.
It was just funny.
Fun stuff.
Him fighting Bob Barker was just fun.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude, it's nothing funnier than that.
Dude, and that's what Adam Sandler movies are, is that kind of funny, right? And you don't see that in theaters anymore. Because when he left it, you guys ever see the Farrelly movies? The Farrelly Brothers movies?
Which one's like?
There's Something About Mary is probably the most famous one.
I've seen the Farrelly. Yeah, I've seen that. What else did they have?
Kingpin. It's a bowling movie.
I've seen Kingpin.
Yeah. It's Woody Harrelson and the other Quaid.
Dang. You know what? It makes me think, and I know we gotta kind of keep moving, but it makes you. I never thought about it like that. It was like as soon as Adam Sandler stopped, Judd Apatow sped up. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause, like, what was it? I was just thinking about the 40-year-old version the other day. I couldn't believe how funny that movie was.
But that's old. Yeah. I mean, that's really old. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, like, but the thing about Judd Apatow movies aren't as slapstick and wacky as Adam Sandler.
No, it was more realistic. But I'm just saying, like, as Sandler cooled down, Apatow sped up. Yeah. And then, like, what's the other guy that was with him who did the Hangover? Oh my God, I gotta remember this guy's name. Phillips. Something Phillips, because he did the Hangover, and then I remember he did Project X, which one of my homies
I want
is
to say
in.
Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips, yes.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
I feel like Adam Sandler kind of had to go away for other people to get some shine.
Yeah, it's funny, but those movies they may be outrageous, but they felt more real, right? The Hangover.
It was definitely more real.
The Hangover was outrageous, but it felt more real. I mean, like Adam Sandler movies, the way they're filmed, it almost. They feel like movies. I mean, like
yeah. It's definitely like I think like with the Hangover, man, we had like a little like, would you guys go to Vegas right now? Yeah, let's go to Vegas.
Yeah,
like we definitely had Hangover moments.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely went to a Project X party. You know, after the Project X movie, we wasn't going to no Big Daddy parties or no, you know what I'm saying, because it was just a movie.
Yeah, yes, yeah, but Sandler stuff, I mean, that's the funny part is that all of his stuff was, but there's a place for him, I mean, like, and it's on Netflix now, but you don't find those kinds of movies out there that are just ridiculous movies. In fact,
no.
Oh my God, do you guys know what his first movie that was released for Netflix was called? It was a Western. Adam Sandler's first.
Ridiculous 8 or something like that?
Ridiculous 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to watch that.
Yeah, I mean, but honestly, so yeah, it is ridiculous, the kind of movies he does. Sandler movies are basically SNL skits come to life.
It is. That's exactly what it is.
Kind of like that. You know, that's the kind of production value in some ways. But I'm telling you, there was never a time where, I mean, some of the funniest movies I'd ever seen back to back were like The Water Boy. What's his other ones at the time? The Water Boy was just, I was dying for that.
Yeah, Waterboy was gold.
What's his
But he
other,
had something else after that.
wait, but what's the one where he was he's got to go back to school.
Billy Madison.
Is it Billy Madison? So there's
When he goes back to school, he's grown.
So the three of them, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, and The Water Boy. Those three movies were just the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
I gotta say,
and then didn't he also produced like Deuce Bigelow, Mel Gigolo?
Yes, he did. Deuce Bigelow. Oh my God. Yeah. Deuce Bigelow. He was. No, that's his thing. Sandler is a prolific producer. People don't really fully realize that. Happy Madison.
I mean, because it's they're not going to give you a prolific producer because it's comedy.
Yeah.
It's just because it's comedy. Like,
have you guys seen Grandma's Boy?
Prolific comedy, huh?
Have you guys seen Grandma's Boy?
I recall that one.
Okay, so if you watch a Sandler movie, any of his movies, pretty much, watch the credits at the end, and he's got an executive producer on all of them. That's a good friend of his. His name is Alan Covert. I think it's how it's pronounced. Okay, Alan Covert is in every movie you see. His name is there, right? He's the star of Grandma's Boy. Okay, so it's a Happy Madison production. I think he's the producer and the star of it, and it's hilarious. You got to see that one, Grandma's Boy. And once again, of course, Rob Schneider's in it. And I want to say that Adam Sandler probably makes this random wacky appearance, the same way that. Do you remember how? Okay, so Adam Sandler appeared in Deuce Bigelow. At least or was the second one? The second one. He appeared in the second one. In the second one, they have like the Gigolo Awards. Do you guys remember the second one?
Yeah.
They have the Gigolo Awards, and at the Gigolo Awards, they have like an in memoriam section where all the Gigolos who died the past year, they kind of remembered them. And Adam Sandler's one of those guys.
It's just crazy.
But he was making tons of movies. Of course, he produced The Animal with Rob Schneider.
I didn't see The Animal, but I remember The Animal.
Then there's
it was something like he was an animal or something like that, right? I forgot.
Rob Schneider was the animal, so somehow he was like brought near death, and once again, it's an Adam Sandler type slapstick movie where it can't really happen. So he's hit. I can't remember anything, but he's almost killed, right? And to save his life, some doctor who's actually a vet puts animal parts into him. So he starts exhibiting behaviors of animals. Obviously would never happen. I mean, like, this makes no sense, but it's one of those things where you're sitting around the writer's room and pitching stuff, and somebody goes, well, how about this? It's like a Frankenstein situation where, like, we rebuild Rob Schneider, but we put animal parts inside him, and so he starts acting. That's basically what it is. And the size of the budgets that these things have, they're gonna work.
Small.
They're gonna work. These are probably some of those profitable things ever to come out of Hollywood.
Yeah, because I mean, it didn't have that much. It didn't have that many effects or anything like that. Like, I think even like the older ones, like Happy Gilmore, the one that has the most effects is the last shot. When he off the car and all. That's probably the only thing that has any type of effects or stuntmen.
Yeah.
Everything else is movie magic, which is easy to make.
Easy made movie magic, and also the talent of these comedians on screen to make themselves do funny things, right? Like, I guess if you want to go cheap on effects, you hire Jim Carrey. He can make his face do weird things, right, without even having effects.
Oh yeah. Trust me, he can do that.
Yeah. So I mean, so some of the most profitable movies ever. I mean, obviously Adam Sandler is a movie gold mine. Okay, so the guy makes tons of money because what he makes is so cheap to make.
Right.
Did he produce Paul Blart Mall Cop? I've never seen the movie.
I remember that, but
I've never seen it. I'm guessing he might because what's his name? Kevin James.
It's his boy.
Is one of his cohorts, yeah. He's one of his guys. So every time I see a Kevin James movie, I kind of think, did Adam Sandler make that happen? And I think there are some that he didn't, but more often than not, he probably did. So there's certain guys who if you see them in a movie, Adam Sandler's probably involved. Like Rob
Produced
Schneider.
by James and Adam Sandler.
What's that?
It says produced. Yeah,
He did Paul Blart.
looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you just the concept of Paul Blart Mall Cop, that would have never gotten off the ground if it wasn't for Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
But that was a funny one too.
I never saw that one.
It's funny, but I ain't gonna lie. Like, because of the budget, I mean, if Adam Sandler had to he had to make Happy Gilmore right now with the budget that he had back then.
Yeah.
Would it still work?
Yeah, I think it would.
I think it would too, because it's just classic comedy. Like, of course, like you don't have to replace Bob Barker with somebody else.
Yeah, true.
But it would still work because it's just classic comedy.
And also because
the Water Boy too.
Well, also because think about it. I mean, like, what the most expensive things that of those times are not expensive anymore. Like, okay, so do you guys remember? Okay, so we're gonna talk this. And we have to move on, right?
Yeah.
Kevin Smith. Remember Kevin Smith?
Yeah.
Okay, Kevin Smith was famous for an independent movie he made. And this first movie in his career was oh shit. Why am I blanking? It's shot in black and white. Clerks.
Clerks, yeah.
Okay, Clerks. They made Clerks, and think about Kevin Smith. He went to film school. Like, he literally went to film school and then met some people and dropped out to make that movie. I mean, like, when you say he went to film school, he took a class and decided partway through, hey, let's make a movie. Zero training, right? Assembled a couple guys who knew a little bit about certain things, and they made this movie. He financed it himself. Credit cards, savings, sold his comic book collection to make this movie, right? The majority of the budget went to film stock, right? Because that was made in a time where you shot on film, right? So it went to film stock. They chose to film it in black and white, okay? Not because of any artistic reason, but because they didn't have to color correct in black and white.
Yep.
Okay. Easier to shoot in black and white. Cheaper. Okay, to shoot in black and white. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't do the audio in post. They used the audio as they recorded the movie because it was cheaper, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, they shot at night. Okay, 2 reasons why they shoot at night. Number one, when you shoot in black and white, it's easier to deal with artificial lighting than it is to have to deal with sunlight coming in. Okay. Number two, it's cooler at night, so they didn't have to run the ACs, because running the AC had too much background noise to record the dialogue in the moment.
Right.
Okay. So it's like a masterclass in cheap film production, right? But he talks about this. If he made it now, the budget would be so much smaller because they just shoot it on iPhones.
Shoot on iPhone,
or the cameras, cameras that we use. I mean, like, they can shoot it on something. They don't have to use all this real gear with film, right? The film stock is the single most expensive part of making that movie, and it's eliminated now, right? So think about Happy Gilmore, all those movies Sandler made. Probably the most expensive thing was the film stock they were using. So when he produces for Netflix now, it's recorded digitally. Okay, so could you make Waterboy now and have it be profitable? Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
That thing, I mean, like, he'd be spitting those things. I mean, watch Waterboy, watch Happy Gilmore, the original. Those were made to be on Netflix. I mean, those are Netflix movies, for God's sakes.
Yeah. To be honest with you, and it's like just kind of giving like context of what he's like, why he even dropped out. To be honest with you, like, just from going to a film school, you kind of learn everything in like the first couple weeks, and then most of it, like, if you like me, it was crazy. It went backwards. I was doing films before I went to film school. When I got there, it was like, oh, I was doing it right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's all it was. Like, all they told me was that I was doing it right. And I couldn't believe, like, just off of natural instinct, I was doing it right. Like, they was doing it right. Like, and it even made me think. Like, I used to do the same trick with podcasts. The podcast would be grainy and look like kind of grainy, so I would do it in black and white just to kind of eliminate all the graininess of it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's just like you learn these type of things when you're just kind of built to make films.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean,
So I think he can do it in any type of air, in any type of genre, or any
Yeah.
type of time. I'm sorry.
yeah, like especially I mean the directors especially. Now some people have to go to specialized courses. I mean, like, if you're going to be doing editing, that's a different story. I mean, like,
But even editing, like,
but the funny part, he did it himself
yeah,
for the most part because it was so. I mean, it was so simply shot. I mean, go back and
yeah,
watch Clerks now, and you can tell that it was created to be easy to make. I mean, a lot of his decisions as the director were made to make it easier to produce it. Right? Let's do everything one pass. It's designed to be. It's like you can tell that they had a limited budget. They couldn't have multiple takes. They had to get it done easy. Right?
yeah,
That's how it was made to be. Um, and the funny thing is, he came out the gate with that movie, and he became a sensation. It was massive for
yeah.
him. It's funny. So he's people don't realize it, but he's tied really closely to Miramax, the Weinstein
Yeah.
brothers. Okay,
Huh.
because
He's quiet now that
Harvey
Harvey in
Weinstein,
jail.
Harvey Weinstein has the green light pretty much everything they do. Like Miramax is
Yeah,
not a big outfit. It's an independent film company. I mean, like they're small. So there's two sides of it. There's what's Harvey's brother's name? Harvey Weinstein, and there's two Weinstein brothers. Harvey
I
takes
forgot.
Harvey takes care of Miramax. The other one does Dimension, the horror side of things.
Oh yeah,
So one brother does that part, and Harvey Weinstein does the Miramax stuff, the Oscar-winning side of things, right?
yeah,
And so you gotta, if you want to put something through that side, you gotta get his green light. He has to green light everything. And so his executives were pitching this movie to him, right? And this was said in an interview years ago before Harvey Weinstein encountered the problems he has now. So back then he was a respected producer, and they talk about trying to get this movie past Harvey Weinstein, right? I guess Harvey Weinstein trusted his people enough because Harvey Weinstein never got it. He's looking at this thing. He's been told, you got to watch this movie. So he went to go watch it. And he's like, what? It's like, it made its independent rounds for a while. And his people were just going to see it over and over again. So Weinstein went to go watch it in the theater, and he just didn't get it. He's like, who's going to watch this? But he realized that when he went to watch it, the theater's packed. It's like all artsy people, right? And then he goes back to his own office, and the buzz in his office is all about this movie he doesn't get. So he said, okay. So he ate it. He said, well, yeah, let's buy it and let's put it out there. So they decided that they're going to be the ones to distribute it,
mhm,
right? And a better decision he could not have made. It made so much money.
yeah,
I mean, because considering the budget that it took to make it, how much the Weinsteins paid for it for distribution rights, they made crazy amounts of money from that movie. And the whole time, Weinstein just didn't get it. He just didn't see why it was so popular. It just wasn't a movie for him, right? Which comes
right,
back to the thing. Okay, so tying it back into looking at things as a business person, sometimes you gotta look at what the market is leaning towards, right? If
mhm,
Weinstein went with his own gut and said, "I don't get this. I don't like this. I'm not going to buy this," somebody else would have, obviously, right? Because
yep,
it had a lot of buzz in the community that Weinstein doesn't get, right? Somebody else would have picked it up, and boom, somebody else would have been the person responsible for launching Kevin Smith's career. It's not like, I mean, it was doing so well on its buzz from independent showings that somebody would have gotten it. Okay, so Weinstein, being the businessman that he is, okay, we're not saying that he's a great person, but he knows how to make money from movies, right?
yeah,
He said, "I trust my people. I see the buzz. I see what's going on. I don't get it. I don't like it, but I'm jumping into this." And the rest is history, right? Just like
right,
so we got in this conversation because I'm talking about delivery services. I I don't see the allure of it. I don't see why I want to pay extra money for the food that I could pick up myself and get better quality if I got it myself, right? I can understand maybe somebody who just lacks the time, right? But if I lack the time, I would choose something that would taste good delivered. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't choose something that, like, I wouldn't, or like, I definitely wouldn't order like, oh, let's get Lowry's prime rib, right? That's definitely not going to taste good delivered,
No.
right? But people do.
Like you're not doing Fogo de Chao.
Yeah, you're not doing Burger Chow. You're not. You shouldn't be doing Starbucks because your thing's gonna get there melted. You shouldn't be doing In-N-Out Burger, right?
But I'm gonna do Denny's and I'm gonna do Norm's.
Yeah, that's possible. I can see that.
I'll definitely get a sampler from Norm. I don't use Uber Eats or DoorDash anyway, but I'm just saying, if it came down to it, I'll get the sampler.
Yeah, I mean, I would stick to things that had delivery built in.
Right.
I'd do that. But just because I don't get the business model doesn't mean that it's not worth looking at. I mean, like, it's probably something that'll work, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, to me though, think have you guys ever looked at the business model of a DoorDash or an Uber Eats? How it makes money? Is it profitable?
Yes, they take 33% of the fee for new people now. Like that, like back in the day, it's probably lower margins. I think what our restaurant now is it's a lower percentage. I know when I had my own restaurant, they were trying to get 33% from me, and then I got it down to
They
20.
they want 33% of. So let's say you're charging $10 or something. They want $3.30 out of your 10.
Yes, if you don't have a following or you don't go negotiate that, say you just going off the first offer, they trying to get you for 33%.
But there's that. See, now that's the case. I did not know that. So here's the thing about restaurants. Now I know a lot about restaurants, right?
Yeah,
Because as far as things I've consulted for, I was a restaurant consultant, and I had my own restaurants. One thing I don't agree about the way restaurants are run now is the pricing. I don't see
yeah,
value in the way they're pricing things. Okay,
right.
if I opened a restaurant today and I had to factor in an Uber Eats charge in order to get my pricing where I need it to be, that would mean I would have to charge a ridiculous amount of money for what I'm serving. It wouldn't be worth it. I
True.
mean, I'd be charging a number that's not worth it, right?
Right.
But I guess many consumers nowadays pay ridiculous amounts of money for goods and services now. Okay? And then people wonder, see, and that's the reason why I don't like using things like Uber Eats, because I just don't see myself spending that extra money for it. I mean, like, I'd you know, I'd rather save my money for something I want, right? I don't have to get this, if it makes sense, right? It's from a personal budgeting standpoint, right? I try to get value. I always try to see value in what I consume, right? And I just can't see the value in doing that. And that's why I
Yeah.
don't do it, right? But I understand that there are people out there who will spend whatever it takes. It doesn't matter, even if they can't afford it.
I spent $30 on a burger and fries yesterday.
Yeah, people do that. Wait, where was it at?
It's a place called Oh My Burger. So I had a pastrami hamburger and Parmesan fries and a drink, and it came out to $30.
Jeez, just for you?
Yeah,
Was it worth it?
the pastrami burger was good. I wish it was. I wish the whole meal was. The whole meal was $20, I would have felt good about it.
Okay.
$30, it was like dang.
Well, here's the
But
funny part.
also like, Oh My Burger is a place that like I'm only gonna go there so often. Like the only reason the last time I went was last year,
Okay.
and really the only reason I went is because I got homies that work there.
Okay.
So
So,
yes, like now this is what I also say because I spent a lot of time looking at the menu. Once again, I got the homies that work there. They do have lower price options. Like I could have got a smash burger for $7.
okay.
I could have had it cheaper. I didn't have to get the $9 fries. I could have got the $7 fries. It could have been a $15 meal. It could have been a $20 meal. I chose to try the pastrami burger that was $20. So it's pretty much like a restaurant quality burger, but you get it at a to go, like a to go kind of semi sit down spot.
Okay. Now that's that can as a restaurateur. I mean, like that's the funny thing. Part of what you pay those prices for, and
Mm-hmm.
this is so, and that's part of it. Okay, as someone who's owned restaurants,
Mm-hmm.
and like okay, I know that you and I, Raymond, you and I cook, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quentin, you cook a little bit, but especially when you've owned restaurants, and I know the restaurants that I've owned were higher end, right? I have a hard time eating out when I go to places where I can make the food. Like I'm really judgy when it comes to restaurants where I could make that, right?
Yeah, like if
So
you can, like I feel what you're saying because it's like I could have made that burger at home.
I could make that better and cheaper. Way and like and then see, so if I get someplace and the food is not as good as I could have made it, and it's way more expensive than it should have been, and the service was subpar, it's like it's all so that's one. So I when I go out now, I tend to focus on foods that are so complicated I don't want to make them.
That's a good way to look at it. I
Right?
mean, because like yes, me knowing what I know, and even me having the equipment and stuff I could have for $30, I could have ate 10 of those.
Yeah, and it would
I
be
could have fed
better.
my whole family all week.
Like
with
I typically won't go to steak places, right? If I do go to a
yeah,
steakhouse, they have to serve legitimately aged meat because that's not something that I'm doing at home.
yeah. You want either aged or you want like a wagyu. You want
Yeah, I
something.
want something that I don't normally get at home, and I can't get it home, right?
Yeah, after I really perfected learning how to make steak,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm beating you when it comes to making
yeah,
steak.
yeah. So so
Yeah,
typically, I mean, like I'll do like I'll definitely do sushi because I mean, and the funny thing is, I've made good sushi at home, but the thing is that in a sushi restaurant, you get variety. See, if you're gonna get that variety at home, you got to buy a whole bunch of different kinds of fish. It's just
yeah.
too complex for
And you
one or
need to know
two
how to
people
cut
to
the
eat.
fish.
Yeah, I mean, I can do that. I mean, like, oh, you, I don't. I'll show you guys a photo sometime of the sushis that I made. Really good
Mm.
stuff, right? But the thing is that it's for me and my wife, so it's like sushi for two people. There's no way that I'm buying like a pound of like seven different kinds of fish to make different varieties, right? Because I will
Mm.
get full. I mean, like, because then we'll waste some of it,
Yeah.
right? How am I
I'm
gonna
gonna
make?
just get the salmon. We making salmon rolls. We
Yeah,
making everything. All
yeah,
everything I can make with salmon right now.
yeah,
But here's a question I have, Armand. Since
yeah.
you're a restaurant guy, if you've got the complexity of the sushi versus just some burger and pastrami, I can understand the complexity of the many fishes, but I can't understand the complexity of burger and
No, what I'm
pastrami.
saying. So I wouldn't go out for
Ah,
that because I can make that.
yeah, but my question is, can you sustain a restaurant with that kind of
My
price?
burger been around for a while, but I don't think they will. I don't know. Like it was funny because it was like one of my friends is like the manager there, and like you can kind of see the difference in her being there because she even took people from our restaurant, whereas like the staffing and everything is better.
Hmm.
Even like it's more stuff in there now, where I'm like, it could expand, but all my burgers been there for a while, and that's what like because we've had this conversation. When you have overpriced things, it like how are you going to sustain yourself? Like you're not going to be able to like how I just said. I'm not going to go there every other week. I'm gonna go there every year because I already know I'm about to spend. Like I spent $40 yesterday because I also left a tip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want to have a
Wait,
forty
wait, wait.
dollars.
It's a takeout place, right?
Yeah,
Did you take out? Or did you
yeah.
eat there?
Remember, this is different. Remember, this the homies. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm a tip. Yeah, like
Okay.
if even if maybe I would have left $2 if I didn't know them like that.
Okay.
Last year when I walked in there and none of my homies was working there, gave them just like whatever we was paying. But we spent like $50-$60 though.
Okay. Because for me, tipping has always been about you're tipping for service, right?
Yeah,
I don't tip on takeout, right?
yeah.
Because and there's the other thing. So
Do you tip at Starbucks?
what's that?
Do you tip at Starbucks?
No.
Really?
Nope. Do not.
I used to work at Starbucks, and those type of tips that we used to get, man, we used to come up off those tips.
I mean, some people do, but
Just to really help.
yeah. But and Jerome and I have had that conversation. Like Jerome, for those of you guys looking at, Jerome's a friend of ours who we have. I talked to Jerome like I've talked to these guys. We talked about a lot of business stuff. Tips are something that you get for service, right?
Yeah.
Takeout places are not a tip place because it's just as prepared and given to you. Like, what's the difference between working in a Starbucks versus working in a McCafe? A McDonald's.
Oh, it's a total difference.
What's the
It's a total
What's the
difference.
difference?
I mean, like working in a Starbucks, we just specialize in coffee.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the specialization. I'm talking about like McCafe has those machines. They have, you can get, I mean,
Man, you trying to compare a Starbucks to a McDonald's?
yeah.
Totally different experience.
No, okay, no, but
Totally different experience.
from a worker's perspective, I mean, but I'm talking about when it comes to.
I would never want to work at.
I get that. No, what I'm saying is this, okay? As an owner of a business, right? McDonald's has the same type of machines. They may not have the same exact machines, but they have the same variety of machines, right?
Kinda, yeah.
They have a more limited menu because they're not trying to be Starbucks. They only serve specifically what sells a lot, right? But they've got the equivalent of a Frappuccino.
Yeah, but it's different because I've made Starbucks Frappuccinos.
Yeah,
I think it may be. I don't know. I've never seen McCafe stuff, but just my perception, the McCafe stuff is cheaper because they're selling it at a cheaper price.
of course it's cheaper. No, what I'm saying is that as a business owner, right? There's not much difference between the two as far as the way you operate. I mean, Starbucks and McDonald's is a high volume, fast service business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as an owner of a restaurant, I don't see a difference. I mean, the way you train the people, the way that they actually do their jobs may be different, but I have the same number. I'll have the same number of employees in the same positions doing the same things, right? But the quality of the product in one may be better than the other. So one of them has a much more expensive machine than the other, but it's still the same kind of machine, right?
Yeah.
One
and
may
then
have
probably the machines cost them the same price.
yeah, one may have much better quality of bean than the other, but they're still coffee beans. All the things are the same, right? I'm not talking about the difference in quality. I'm talking about as a restaurant owner. Like owning McDonald's is the same thing as owning a Denny's. From a restaurant owner perspective. Okay.
Right.
If your place serves coffee, Seattle's Best, Starbucks, as an owner, it's the same thing.
Get it?
You may have a different perception of it as an employee, but it's not different as an owner.
I get what you're saying.
Right.
Like, and it comes down.
But this is why I say it. Okay. Would you ever tip at McDonald's?
Never.
Yeah. There we go.
They don't even have a tip jar.
Yeah. There's a difference. Would you tip at a Burger King?
No.
Would you tip at a Carl's? No.
No.
None of these places. No fast food restaurant you would ever tip in, right? So let's talk about this. A bunch of fast food restaurants closed in California recently. Why?
Yeah.
Why do they close?
I mean, because of the minimum wage.
Yes. Minimum wage increased to $20 an hour, but only for one kind of business. What kind of business was that?
Restaurant.
Fast food. Not restaurants, specifically fast food restaurants. Okay? So, as an owner of a restaurant, this is how you look at restaurants, okay? You look at them based on categories. So, owning one fast food restaurant is pretty much the same thing as owning another in terms of the way you operate. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's is a fast food restaurant, right? The wages increased to $20 an hour. What else is a fast food restaurant? Considered fast food? Starbucks.
You consider it fast food?
Dude, Starbucks pays $20 an hour. They have to. They're considered fast food.
Yeah.
They fall into the category.
and there is a rule where it's like it's supposed to come out in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I know that's the rule.
I'm not talking about the rule about how fast it comes out, but in terms of does it fall under the wage increase? It does. Starbucks qualifies as a fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. So when it comes to tipping, we're talking about tipping. Where do I tip? I never tip at fast food. Okay. I do tip, however, in a restaurant that does table service, right? Fast casual. Right? Fast
Yeah.
casual is not fast food. Okay. Like a TGI Fridays is fast casual. Okay. That
Yeah.
I tip at a TGI Fridays. If I sat down, was presented a menu, they took my order, they came back several times to see how things are going. And everything. That's an environment where I tip, right?
But also though, like I mean, I don't think you've ever been inside of a Starbucks. A Starbucks is a little bit different. Like one of the things with Starbucks is more personable. Starbucks, they're asking your name.
Of
They're
course,
talking to you.
yeah.
They're not doing that at a McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like even though it's still considered fast food, and I'm just talking about the tip aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Like Starbucks is more personable. Like when I worked at a Starbucks, this is how personable I was. I would see the customer drive on one side of the building. Soon as they got to the mic, I was like, hey, I'm already making it. You getting this usual, right? Yup. Pull up. That's the difference. I'm not doing that at a McDonald's. That's why we get tips. You know, that's why I'm just explaining that from the tip point of view.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a tip, like for like you saying that right now, but me and you didn't know each other, and you came into Starbucks every day. I bet you would tip me because how personable I am.
Potentially, yeah.
I'm gonna know. I might even know stuff about your family because I'm gonna talk to you. I'm telling you, I used to know these people. It was not, and it's just like how I am right now in the restaurant. I be knowing these people, and I give them great service. That's why they get tips.
Okay.
It's not like a Carl's Jr. where, okay, this is what you're getting. All right, go sit down right there. You number 39. It's not like that. It's totally different.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that argument, but still, for me, I only tip at places where I sit down and I'm served and pay the bill by when it comes afterwards. That's my measurement of whether I'm tipping or not, right? So
we getting tips and we take your money before you even get your food.
What's that? Oh yeah, I good place. Yeah, I know. But that's the strangest place I've ever seen. Okay.
Yeah.
So Raymond works in a place. You want to say the name?
Yeah, you can say the name. I'm vlogging.
So Raymond works in Medeiros, right? So
yeah.
It's a restaurant where they seat you. They take your order at the table. It's sit down. It's a sit down restaurant. You have a server. Okay.
Because people started walking out, and this is all. Remember, we talking about pandemic stuff during the pandemic, and it's funny because people had money. I don't know why they was. Well, no, I know why they were doing that. Because people couldn't be inside of the actual building, and there was a outside area. People will get their food and see that they can just dip out in the outside area because it's an alley. So people was dipping out, and the owner had changed the policy to where it's like now, once you order your food, we have to take your payment before we even give you the food.
Yeah, which is weird. Okay, so as somebody in the restaurant business, it's like that's weird. So normally when you order and pay before you get the food, right? That's something like that's a scenario where it's like self-service almost. That's like the case. One of the best examples of that is Panda Express. You walk in, you point out what you want, and they present you with a bill. All right, let me get a 3-item combo. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, I want that. As they're putting it together, let's say that some stuff isn't ready yet, so they're putting it to wait. You walk down the aisle and you pay your bill, and then they give you your food. And let's say you do eat inside there. Okay, so the difference there is they don't have a waiter coming to bring you your stuff. They'll call you up, you'll get it, you can sit down and eat inside there, and at the end of that meal, you'll bust it yourself, right?
Right.
Raymond's place, Medeiros, you actually get seated at a table, you order, and when you order, they present you with the bill.
Yep, we present you with the bill. Now, I'm not going to I even hate having to admit this, but we can. Me and the owner, when she argues with me about this, I just don't argue back. But once I get on the floor, I kind of do my own thing. I do present the bill to you, and I do give you a spill. Hey, we take the money beforehand because I'm telling you right now, it turns into fights. People get totally turned off by that, and it turns into bad scenarios where I've had people leave. I have people like they're so disgusted that the food ain't good and they complaining about the food. And if I like, and now is one of the things like I've learned to read people so good, I can tell like we had a discussion about discrimination
Okay.
because there are certain people where it's like I have this one group of people that come in and they tip me really really good. I'm gonna give you the bill at the end because I already know you paying, I already know you tipping. Some people will be like, well, why did they bill come out later and you trying to charge me now? It's because you got an attitude and I already know that you're gonna try to pull something on me where you're gonna try to tell me, oh, I don't like this, take it off the bill. So I'm gonna get your money first. And then you know what? I'm gonna tell my cooks not to make it until I get your money. Because you already know what type of person you are.
Here's a question, okay? Is there an issue with quality or is it just bad customers?
Bad customers.
So, I
Like the
mean,
quality, like the way I feel about it, like it's one of the things. Like if it's bad quality, like oh I don't like these potatoes, I will go make it again. That's the thing. I'm not going to just make you eat something that you didn't like. I'm gonna give you something that you like. Now there is a thing where it's like people got this thing like okay like grits. Oh, it's not like my mom's grits. Well, have your mama make your grits. Don't I'm not making your mama's grits, bro. Like you're eating my grits. So if you
okay.
don't like it, hey, pay for it, get up out of here, don't ever come back. It's like, and I'm saying that in a respectful manner. Like everything is not, you're not gonna like everything. So, like people were like, "How you gonna make me eat something that I didn't like?" Yes, I am gonna make you because you're trying something. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like you get people like that where it's just like that also adds to where I gotta get my money beforehand. Like we gotta like I got a big thing about steak. Like don't make me make this steak and you tell me you don't like it because you're still gonna pay for it.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And it like the whole payment thing, it creates fights, but then it keeps us from fights.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why there'd be fights because it's something that's unusual. I mean, that's some, and I can totally tell. I can understand people surprised by it. If you've never been there before,
Oh yeah.
that'll confuse the hell out of you. It's like what? Because
Yeah, and
I've never
it's
heard of
just
that.
like yeah, and it's just like how we talk about like most of our customers are new customers. Like I would say probably a good 20 to 30% of the customers, probably even more, are new customers on a daily basis.
Okay.
Where it's like I ain't never heard nothing like this. But it's actually like, man, like I mean, we can keep going with this, but it's like it's an ongoing debate because it's really in black neighborhoods. Because I've heard like in Atlanta, it's like this. You
Really?
know what I'm saying? Where like this is not just us. This is an Atlanta thing too.
So they charge that way there too, huh?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So a customer told me that they was like, oh, they do this in Atlanta. I'm like, really? And I was like, oh, it's a black thing. Because, like that is a very big topic. Like, I actually have a new employee where, like, she had been, like, I had to tell her the other day, she was like, man, these girls didn't leave me nothing. I was like, look, man, black women don't tip. And she was like, what? And she was like, are you serious? And I'm like, look, this ain't just me saying this. This is an internet thing. Like, it's just, you're just going to experience it. And I'm telling you, I can call her right now and she'll tell me, like, yes, it's true. Like, they don't leave tips. And the funny thing about it, they all do the same thing. They be nice coming in. Then once they get, like, I'll say in the middle of the service, their whole demeanor changes. Like I had this one girl where like everything was all good. Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, we're doing great. Okay, you ready to start your service? And then the girl started talking low. I'm like, why is she talking so low? Like you were just all like loud with me just a second ago. And then it was like she started like complaining about stuff where I was like, wait a minute. Oh no, I already know where this is about to go. $70 bill left nothing.
Wow. So is it an act in order to try to get away from tipping, or is
It's
it?
an act to get away from tipping. Sometimes it's an act to try to get away from not paying for certain
Got
things.
it.
Um, like even like I hate to say it, like you have to profile people.
Hmm.
Like if it's the couple on a date, you're going to get a tip. Like it's rarely
Okay.
that it's scoundrel couple like that.
Okay,
Huh?
so basically, if somebody is trying not to look cheap in front of the other one, there's going to be a tip happening.
There's gonna be a tip happening.
Best behavior.
If it's two women, you may not get tip. I'm gonna say 90% of the time you're not gonna get a tip.
Okay.
Unless like you can feel certain women's energy.
Okay.
Certain women, a lot of women ain't like that, but there are a lot that are like that.
Okay.
Like
So,
you'll be surprised the type of arguments I've had with some of these women.
so let's take this a second and bring it around back to some business and entrepreneurship, right? When you first start looking to do a business, right? What or like, let's say you decide that you want to be an entrepreneur, right?
Right.
It's nice to decide you want to be an entrepreneur before you think of the business itself, because your mind's in the right place. You're looking to become your own. But there's reasons to become an entrepreneur that are not attached to, like, let's say for example, okay, so let's take two people, right, brothers. One wants to be an entrepreneur. One wants to own a restaurant. Okay, one could say they're the same because owning a restaurant is being an entrepreneur, right? So one brother wants to be an entrepreneur because they want to be in charge of their own, they want to be in charge of their own business. They want to take control of their lives.
Right.
They want to make active choices that they can't make as an employee, right? They want to have more control, right? They want to make money from their own ingenuity, right? The other one specifically wants to own a restaurant, right? So the thing is I always like to tell people that it's better to be enamored with the aspects of entrepreneurship that are universal rather than tied to a specific industry. Because some people want to open restaurants not because they want to be entrepreneurs, but because they specifically like a certain kind of food. Right? They're getting into it because they want to share Italian food with the world, maybe. Or they want to share something specific, right? And they look at it from that perspective rather than as an entrepreneur, so they make decisions that go against making money. Right? So oftentimes when you want to be an entrepreneur, the first thing you got to do is you decide, I want to be an entrepreneur. Then you decide to investigate what you can do. And I always like to promote the idea of investigating the different markets that you could approach, right? Who can you service? Who are the people who can consume something that you're going to provide? Right?
Yeah.
We haven't identified what you're providing yet, okay? But you're trying to identify groups of people who consume and what do they need. So that's how we're looking at markets, right? So let's look at it that way. So let's say that, okay, so actually the market that you service at Medeiros is a very specific market of people, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at it, not just the people, but the geographic location, right? See, as a potential entrepreneur, because that's what we all are. I mean, like, as a potential entrepreneur, would you want to be involved with that market? I mean, it's combative, right? A market that has the potential to not want to pay because they didn't like what they got, right? But think about that. Of course, and that's why I asked: is there a quality issue, right? Because that's part of being a restaurant. I mean, part of providing that service or product is consistency. You can't open a restaurant. And when I was consulting, okay, so a restaurant in Asia I consulted for. They had a problem with their bar food, right? They made a good pizza, but the quality of the pizza varied depending on the day you went there. Some days it was really good and some days it wasn't. And it was really good some days and not good the other days because the staff was different on different days. And so some people made a good pizza, some people didn't, right? Because there wasn't a specific methodology for making that pizza. They just kind of made it, right? And so when I was working with them, I told them, why is McDonald's so popular? Why is it so successful? Is it because it serves an awesome burger? No, you can get a much better burger other places, right? But the thing is when you walk into McDonald's anywhere in the world, it's exactly the same experience in terms of the food.
Yeah.
You never get a bad Big Mac or a good Big Mac. You just get a Big Mac. Okay. Sure. It's the same Big Mac no matter where you go. Right. So going to this place, your pizza should be the same no matter what day. So your guys who make it, they need to cook it for the same amount they need to put the same amount of ingredients in the same order, cook it for the same amount of time at the same temperature every time. There can't be any fluctuations. See, The funny part was, is I think for me, in that place, even when it was bad, it was okay. But there was sometimes it was much better. I got more value because there were certain days I went there and there was so much more. The pizzas were bigger and there was more on them because the guy who was cooking them was larger. He had bigger hands. He was putting more stuff on it because they were grabbing handfuls. They weren't measuring anything.
Yeah.
So some guy was being, I thought he was being stingy. He was just smaller.
That's true.
Okay. And so the quality was varying, right? So, and that's why I asked you, Raymond, is the quality poor? Because if the quality is poor, that's a problem.
I'm not going to say the quality is poor, right? Because
okay.
I'm a part of the quality check.
Okay.
In certain cases, and it's only because like we have had stellar cooks, right? When we have like a golden cook, everything coming out fire. Like we on a 10. Now, if we get put in a situation where right now we don't got no stellar cook, and we dealing with people who don't speak English, and they don't know what grits are as soon as they got to this restaurant. All they could do was make eggs. That in those scenarios, we go probably from a 10 to an 8.
Okay.
But in certain scenarios, we have everything simplified to where you can't, if you know how to make a steak, you can't mess up the steak.
Yeah.
If you know how to make the salmon, you can't mess up the salmon. The grits is one thing, because we do have one stellar cook, but she works on the other side, which is our bakery. If she comes and gets us started off and she trains them right, then we ain't having no grits issues, or we're not having no potato issues.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But like it's not where like it goes. It's drastic. Like
okay,
if one person ain't there, go from a 10 to a 5. It's nothing like that.
So then it really the issues fall squarely on the market. It's the people
it is the market because like once again we do have reoccurring customers that come because they're always gonna get the same thing. They come here for this taste. I have people who 5 times out the week they coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes, like, you know, one customer let me know, like, it was so funny. He found out that, like, yeah, give me 1 second. They found out that one of the girls had quit, and he, like, I swear to God, I've never seen this guy ever again. He was like, "What you mean she quit?" I was like, "Well, you know, she got into it with the owner, yada yada yada." He was like, "Man, I don't come here for that. I come here for her."
Got it.
He's like, I ain't never seen him ever after that time.
Okay.
There's certain people that come just for me.
So my question is this, okay? So let's say that, okay, let's pose it to Quentin. So this is how you got, as a potential business owner, this is how you got to think, right? You want to operate something, right? Okay, so you guys know that there's so many reasons why business can fail, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to leave your, there's a French term, je ne sais quoi. You ever heard that term?
Yep.
I don't speak any French. Basically, it means like it's a certain something. It's an unidentifiable certain something. It's the je ne sais quoi. You don't want your business to have to rely on that to succeed, right? Businesses in the U.S. have a 95% chance of failing in the first 5 years, right? No matter how good they are. Okay, the idea could be great. You could be well capitalized. I mean, there's always something can come in and screw things up for you, right?
Right.
You want to have the best chance of succeeding. So you don't want to have some glaring hole that you already know is a problem, right? So when it comes to choosing what you're going to do and who you're going to service, you mean like, because when you start a business off, you can choose the market you're going to service, right? And this is what I ask you. So I mean, like, would you open a restaurant in that area if you know that the market itself is problematic, right? Would you choose to?
It's kind of hard to answer that one. Like I would.
Well, no. Remember, Raymond. Let's say you say that. Let's say you begin by saying I want to be an entrepreneur. Now you start investigating different things you can do. So let's say restaurant ownership is not immediately on your plate, right? You decide I want to be an entrepreneur, right?
Right.
Now you start investigating what you can do. So I always recommend investigating the different markets you can service, right?
Yeah.
So you're comparing markets to each other, right? You don't know that you're going to do a restaurant yet.
Right.
So you look at that market of people versus this market of people. So you're looking at different markets, right? You know, my recommendation to somebody getting into that is that you want to service a market that is, you know, that ticks more boxes, right? And so when you look at the market, right, what are the factors you look at, right? You know, you got to look at, you know, the pains. So what is it that they need to be supplied with? What problems, what pains can you provide solutions for, right? So you make a whole list of the different, like, yeah, you'll compare specific markets of people, and you'll list the pains that each one of them experience, right? Then you're going to look at purchasing power, right? Their ability to
I got to take a break real quick.
Okay, gotcha.
I hate to stop you right then and there, but it's like I got to do something real quick.
Okay, hold on. We're going to pause the recording in a moment. Hold on a second.
Pause the recording. I'll be right back. I hate to do that to y'all. I'll be right back. Ooh, yeah.
Wait a second. Let me bring this up. Okay, we're recording again. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, so we're talking, prior to taking a break, we're talking about pains, purchasing power, right, and proximity, right, being able to reach out to people and make them come in there. Okay, so you want to spend enough time researching the area. Now, of course, we primarily deal in an online environment, so it's a little bit different. We can target based on age, and it's so if you do decide that a restaurant's a possibility, you're going to want to research the geographical location you want to open it in.
Right.
And like, if I was thinking about that area, I'd eat in some restaurants around there to see what the vibe felt like, right?
Right.
And if I stepped into that restaurant, so I look for ones that have been around a while to see, because technically, if they've been around a while, they're doing something right.
Right.
Right. So you walk in and see what it's like, right? Obviously, you're not gonna research in a McDonald's. I mean, technically, you just look at the traffic, but you'd want to walk into something that's similar to what you want to open up. And I'm telling you, if I walked in and I experienced that kind of a billing situation, okay, I'd know that there's a reason for it. No place would do that without a reason.
Yep.
Right? There's no way that because that's not normal. That's not what people expect, right?
Oh.
And it's going to cause issues. I mean, like, you know, I would question, like, why am I being billed? Because it's weird. I sat down with them, and there's a waiter. Why am I getting billed right now? It's weird, right?
Yep. And I answer the questions.
Yeah, I'll ask him about that, right? So I'll definitely want to know, right? Because that's gonna tell me. See, that billing situation is specifically going to tell me there's two reasons why. One is going to be quality, right? But there's no reason why a professional restaurant owner, or an experienced, I should say, there's no reason an experienced restaurant owner should be accepting quality that varies so badly that customers complain about it, right? There should be no reason why that would happen. That is the fault of management, right? And that could be fixed really easily, right? Better training or better hiring practices. No reason to live with that. Okay, is more than likely a problem with the market itself, right? The people that come in are making you do that because, you know, they're going to either try to not pay by running off on the bill, right? Or they're going to argue about the bill, like they're going to bring up dissatisfaction to try not to pay for items, right? That's why it's being done, right? That would definitely be a red flag. I would question, do I really want to be involved in a business in this area?
Right. That makes sense.
Right. Because there's other areas. I mean, like the rent there, because I mean the factors of where you open up, right? Market's a big factor, right?
Right.
I mean, do they have the need? Do they have needs you can fulfill? Do they have pains, right? Do they have purchasing power? Can they afford what it is I want to do, right? Okay. You know, can I reach out to people to make them want to come here easily? The proximity issue, right? These are the things, right? Now, all that aside, right? Then I look at, are they pains in the asses? That's not one of the factors you normally look at. Right? That normally shouldn't be an issue, but it seems that it is in certain places. Right? It's the argumentative factor, which is kind of weird, right? But you'll learn that researching your area. That's why you don't just open up a restaurant sight unseen. You got to know something about the area, right?
Right.
And then, because now that that's come up, you can compare opening your restaurant in one area of the town versus another. You can compare the markets. You can compare the rent. If the rent is no different in one versus the other, but the market is not combative, why would you open up in the combative market? So if you have a market where that's not combative, and then they like the kind of offering that you're presenting, right? But then again, at the same time, they may not. So let's say you have 2 potential locations, but the markets are different.
Yeah.
Okay. Both markets have a want to be fed. So let's say we're doing restaurants. They want to eat. Both markets like to eat out in restaurants. Okay. Both markets theoretically can afford what it is that you're presenting to them. Okay. Okay. So, and both rents cost the same. So the cost of everything is equal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to, but one market's argumentative. The other one's not. But the one that's not wants a different kind of food. Okay.
Yeah.
But now here's the thing. Running a restaurant is the same no matter what kind of food you serve. You don't have to be experienced in the preparation of the food that you're serving.
No.
You can hire a consultant for that. Okay. Like Chef Ira J, our friend Chef Ira, he opens restaurants for other people. He's a professional chef. He can open up restaurants, all different types. Or if you want to open up a barbecue style restaurant, he can set it up for you. If you want to open up an Asian fusion, he can set it up. He's a professional restaurant. He's a professional chef and a professional restaurant consultant. Like, I can do it too, right? Mm-hmm. I can have your people trained. I can hire for you, and you can open a Chinese restaurant without being Chinese or knowing anything about the food. The entire setup will be done for you. The methodology will be created. Your people will be trained, right? Like, go to a Panda Express. You don't need to be Chinese to cook Chinese food. Nobody working in a Panda Express is Chinese. They've all been trained properly. And the funny part is the trainers are not necessarily Chinese, because a Chinese person may not know how to make commercial grade Chinese food. They may know how to make Chinese food at home, but knowing how to make it in large volumes, they don't.
Yeah.
Right? And Panda Express food is not authentically Chinese. It's been adapted to the American taste, and it's been adapted to really fast serving environments, and it's been made healthier. Right? So you don't have to know anything about the restaurant you're opening up. You can pay people to get it open up for you. And that's the easiest thing. So the question is going to be, do you still put yourself in that difficult market? If you can go into another market at the same price point, okay, and your ongoing business is going to be so much easier to deal with.
I think it requires, it's the price point. It's just a price point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, here's the funny part. Okay. So obviously, as Raymond said, that this is, it's a pretty much predominantly black neighborhood, right?
Yes, but it is being gentrified.
Okay.
I walked inside one of the open houses on one of the streets. The house is going for $1.4 million.
Okay.
I was surprised by that.
But in terms of your customer base, right? So you could probably open up something very similar if you were doing that restaurant from scratch, you could probably open up something very similar in some other neighborhood, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now that's the funny part. So let's say, okay, so your customers that come into Medeiros, socioeconomically, are they people with good money, or are they people? Where do they fit in terms of the socioeconomic structure? Are they closer to the poorer side or the wealthier side? Where do they fit? If you had to, if there's a midpoint, are they above the midpoint or below the midpoint?
That's kind of hard.
The majority.
Don't
take some outliers. Yes, of course, there's going to be a couple of guys who walk in with really, but who forms the majority?
I
I
would
mean,
say below.
I mean, so the question is, are they arguing? Are they arguing the items in the bill because they want to save, because they need to save some money, or just because they're stingy?
Maybe a lot of it, maybe because they're stingy. Because like the whole billing situation, yes, it is very unorthodox, but also I kind of bring like there's a lot of pros in it because like I'm not gonna just say it's. I mean, I hate to just say it's the people because it's like a lot of people are not. I hate. It's weird saying this, but it's just true. A lot of people don't have restaurant etiquette. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, like it's so crazy saying this, but it's like certain people don't read the menu. They don't like, you know what I'm saying, or misread the menu. Like
Okay.
I have people come and be like, I want grits, eggs, and this. I'll be like, well, why don't you just read it on the menu? And then when I give you the bill because I want you to see the price before you even, you know
Oh,
what I'm saying? I want you to
so
see the price
they're
immediately.
basically ordering as if they walked into your house and say, yeah, yeah, this in the fridge.
Yeah, yeah, I get people like that. Like I get a variety of people. That's why it's hard to say because even like I have people above the midpoint, and there's a lot of them that are actually above the midpoint.
Okay, but I mean, but okay. So I just want to. So you would say the majority of them are below the midpoint.
I
The
would say a
majority.
majority, yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I would say that anybody who doesn't know how to order in a restaurant probably is below the midpoint.
Probably,
I mean,
yes.
like they just that's just. I mean that'll be my assumption, right? Here's the thing. Okay. And we're not saying these things from a racially motivated perspective. Okay,
No.
I'm doing this from a business perspective. I don't want to deal with difficult people, right? As a restaurant owner, if I could have a restaurant and not deal with difficult people, I'd rather have a restaurant and not deal with, even if they're in the same socioeconomic status, right? If you have one group of people like marginally below the midpoint and a second marginally, but one group is easier to deal with than the other, I'll go with the group that's easy, right?
Right.
I don't want to have a restaurant where I need to charge for sit down service in the beginning because people try to get out of paying the bill. That shouldn't be the majority of people out there are embarrassed to be. I mean, like that's like the ultimate Karen, right? The ultimate Karen situation is somebody who's trying to get out of paying a bill, right?
Yeah,
Because there's
I'm dealing with the ultimate
yeah, I
Karens.
mean, like I mean, personally, a lot of times if the server seems nice, I don't want to give the guy a hard time because maybe like I ordered my eggs over easy and they came over medium, right? Definitively over medium, right? Honest mistake maybe, and the server seems real nice. I probably won't even bring it up, right? I mean, I won't bring something up unless it's this. Okay, so like I never order steak in cheap places, obviously, because number one, I can make it. Number two, you don't expect the meat to be great. Number three, you don't. I like my steak rare, and it's never going to be right in a cheaper place, right? Because rare steaks only are done right when there's certain thickness. So you can never order a rare steak in a Denny's. I mean, ordering a rare steak in a Denny's is stupid because a steak that thin, by the time it goes from the kitchen to your table, even if it was rare to begin with, it's medium now because it just cooks that it's got to be super thick to come out proper rare. Okay, so so let's say I for some reason go in. Okay, this happened to me once years ago when I was a bit more of an asshole. Not that I'm not an asshole now. Okay, I went somewhere. It's not my birthday. It was. Oh, it was a. Oh, where were we? It wasn't a Denny's. It was a. Oh shoot! What's a Denny's type restaurant?
Norms.
No,
No, no, no. One that serves prime rib.
IHOP. Oh, was served what?
Prime rib.
Was served prime rib.
Yeah, Caro's. I think it was
Oh, Carol's,
a
yeah.
place like
Ain't
that.
no more Carol's.
Polly's Pies does prime rib on a like basically certain restaurants that are like a Denny's do prime
Mm.
rib on Fridays and Saturdays or just Fridays, right? So I went there to a Caro's, right? And I ordered it's Friday, so I ordered a prime rib, right? And it came. Now I was in my early 20s. Okay. So it came and I remember this. Oh no, it wasn't. Yeah, I think it was me. I had ordered my prime rib I think I ordered it medium rare. No, I either ordered it rare or medium rare, and it came and it was the doneness of a way higher level of doneness. It was going. It was going from. It was more like closer to medium well, right?
Okay.
And I was complaining about it, and somebody with me goes, "Dude, we're in Caros." That's like
That's how I feel too.
I
Like,
said, dude, we're in Caros, right? So
yeah,
that's the thing was like, when I go to a restaurant, I very rarely complain about anything. It's got to be bad for me to complain. So if I go to like a Carl's Jr., you'll never see me send anything back or complain. I mean,
yeah,
okay, I'll if I order zucchini, if I order like zucchini or like waffle cut fries, and I get regular French fries, I'll bring it. I'll say, hey man, I ordered the waffle cut or whatever, because that's there's a difference in that, a
Different
big
taste.
difference, not just taste but price. Like I ordered the more expensive item and I got the cheap one. I'll say, hey man, I it's easy enough, right?
Right.
But the burger itself will have to be cold inside or have a hair in it for me to send it back,
yeah,
right? I mean, there's got to be something terribly wrong with the burger for me to send that thing back, right? Like the patty's got to be frozen still for me to send it back. Okay, I almost never complain in restaurants. Okay, like if I go to an all-you-can-eat Japanese sushi place and maybe I order something like like a tempura shrimp, right? Sometimes I get them and they've been in the oil too long. I mean, like they're too fried. I won't complain,
right,
right? The sushi pretty much always is pretty good, right? I'll complain if something's off. If something is definitely off. If like if it arrives at the table, and there's a wafting smell of okay, something's bad here. Okay, I definitely will complain about that. Okay, but for the most part, I don't complain in restaurants at all. Okay, and oftentimes I just pay the bill without even looking at it. Okay, I remember once I was with my uncle, and we were eating in a little restaurant up in Wrightwood, right? And I paid the bill, and as we were leaving, I realized, wait a second. Okay, we went back in. I'm like, that seemed a little bit too high. We walked back in, and we were billed for a different table.
oh
Our
yeah,
bill,
I've done that before.
our bill was twice what it should have been. I
Yeah,
paid it already, didn't even look at it, right? But it's just that going out, and the reason why we looked at, the reason why we ended up looking at it is because we were going to split it later because he said, oh yeah, how much was it? He'd give me his half, right? And then I looked at the bill, I'm like, wait a second, that doesn't look right. And he goes, yeah, that seems too high. We walked back in, and they brought up the stuff in the computer, and they billed us a different table's bill. Okay, and I waited patiently while they tried to clear it out and get us a refund and all that kind of stuff. I had to wait like an extra 15, 20 minutes because they didn't know how. But they finally got it worked out. They had to bring extra people, and they got it worked out. And I didn't complain at all about the extra waiting time. Okay, I try not to mean like honest mistake. Service was good, food was good. I didn't complain, right?
yeah,
If there are specific markets where there's a higher percentage of people who will complain, I don't want to be dealing in that market because there's a market that they won't.
no, I get what you're saying. I think where we're at, and it's like I don't want to make it seem like I'm miserable with people. I love the people regardless, even if they are I
Well,
got
it sounds fun. It sounds like a fun place to. There's like
it is.
shenanigans going on there.
It's a lot of shenanigans that go in here. I definitely got customers that come in that don't tip, that come in every day and still complain about everything. And I don't. I'm still gonna give them the good service.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. I think one of the things, because you had talked about like, are you servicing the market? We are kind of servicing the market because at the end of the day, in that area, there's not that many sit down restaurants. You know what I'm saying? Compared to like if you go, like you lived in Whittier, there was a lot of sit down restaurants,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Ain't none over there off of Western, big dog. Like,
Okay, yeah. We were
it's
talking about
nothing
that during
really
the
over
break.
here.
We were talking about
Huh?
that during the break. I mean, that's the only reason why you should do it is like basically if you set up shop in a specific place because there's no competition, you'll get a horde of people coming in and you'll do really well, but you'll have to put up with some shit to get that.
Yeah. Like, put it this way, we have to deny money, right? Because, like, I hate saying this, like, we can't take EBT.
Okay.
You know why we can't take EBT?
No, why?
Because it will, like, the amount of ghetto people would increase.
Oh, so you're
And,
trying
like,
you're trying to exclude that market.
you have to exclude that market because if I took EBT, we're gonna have shootouts in there.
Okay.
Because think about it, the place across the street, we shootouts over there.
Okay. Okay, that's the reason why. So, I mean,
Yeah,
but there comes out things. So here's the funny part. Okay, so we try not to be racial, but we end up getting racial anyway, right? So
it's casually racist.
casual racism. But here's the thing. I mean, like, as a business owner, you got to take these things into consideration, right?
Definitely got to take it in consideration
Right.
because I'm like, I did it when I opened a restaurant. I remember I went and sat in that area just to see what was going on. And I remember like I kept seeing these two black kids like riding bikes. I was like, these little dudes are gonna be inside the restaurant talking to me. And guess what? It happened. You know what I'm saying? And I think one of the things like man, I wish I could have took it back because my discernment level and my level as like my knowledge as a cook wasn't as it is now.
Yeah.
If I had the knowledge that I had back then, I would have made a way better decision. Because one of the things I didn't notice, but just thinking stupid, like there was a part where people used to walk around, right? And people would walk around at this little walking area like night and day, like early in the morning, in the midday, in the hot sun, late at night, they walking, and it was predominantly Mexicans. And I tried to just okay, I'm gonna make tacos. Where I learned a specific thing is like you got to look at what they used to make in that spot. They used to make like
Oh yeah,
botanicas
the
and
drinks.
like chopped fruit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If I would have did that, I would have made more money and it would have been easier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely seeing what the market is like.
Yeah, market
Not only
research.
doing the market research, but like making the proper decision after you do the research.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I just experienced that. There was a spot that I was inquiring about inside of a liquor store, and I seen this guy fail, and it was crazy because it was like he did the same thing I did. Like the only thing, like I probably wasn't gonna fail because I had a following, and like I was paying my rent on time. I was on point. I had other factors that let me out of the restaurant. This guy got ran up out the restaurant because one, he came in there and he didn't do what he should have did was, all right, the person that used to be in here used to do tacos and burritos. I need to just focus on tacos and burritos. He came in there doing tacos, burritos, burgers, wings, a whole bunch of other
yeah.
stuff. And yeah, man, less than 6 months, he out of there. And guess what? The new person, tacos, burritos.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is this, like, oftentimes it almost seems counterintuitive though. You don't necessarily, you got to do, rather than do what you know, you got to do what they want.
Gotta do what they want.
Because if what you know is not what they want, they're not going to want. I mean, like you can't force them to eat what you want to feed them. They want something specific,
right?
You know, that's the whole thing. I mean, the market's more important. I mean, it's that, and that's why a lot of times restaurants are tough because people open restaurants because of the food itself. They want to own a greasy spoon, right? Like some guys like, you know, I want to own Mel's Diner. When I say Mel's Diner, not Mel's Drive-In, but like Mel's Diner from what's that TV show?
Alice.
Like Mel. What was Mel's last name? He's like a Greek name, wasn't it? Anyway, so like, you know, they saw something, and that's okay. So this is funny. So you guys know I own a really big bar, right? So a lot of guys who go into that business, they go into that business because they wanted to own Cheers. I mean, they see this thing where it's like, oh, it's a small place where there's the same group of regulars comes in every day and blah blah. They see this little thing, right? They see that kind of bar. But bars and restaurants are the hardest businesses of them all, right? It's not like running something you see on TV.
Definitely not.
It's very so that's why you gotta create something that is geared towards the market that you're going to serve, right?
Yeah.
And so and that's why sometimes if you're just beginning and you're looking around, you look for the red flags in them. I mean, you can choose to avoid a problematic market.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what if, and once again, not wanting to be racial, what if you can move 7 or 10 blocks over and the pricing, the rental pricing is the same, right? The level of safety is the same, right? Everything is the same except the market itself never complains. Let's say that both markets want to eat out. Okay, both markets can afford to eat out. One market complains like crazy. One market does not. Right? But if you want to service the market that does not, you have to serve a specific kind of food. Because that's what they'll eat. Right? And they'll go nuts for it, but you got to serve that food.
Yeah.
Versus the other market, and of course, they have a specific food too. Right? You may be more familiar with one market's food and not the others, but that shouldn't stop you as a restaurant owner. You can hire a consultant for that. Yes, it's a one-time expense that you wouldn't have in the other place. But the thing is, if you're a first-time owner of a restaurant and you don't know, you need a consultant to be able to set it up professionally.
Yeah, I don't think like the owner of our restaurant, she did that. Like, she's Armenian and she's serving soul food.
But did you say her husband was black?
Her husband was black.
Was he involved in the business in the early days?
That was a question mark to me. I don't know. Like when I finally met this guy, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, cause he looked older than her, which was kind of weird. But to me, I think that was kind of like she got the recipes, but I want to say it was all off of her muscle, to be honest with you. I mean, it was like a family thing, but even now it's just her.
Okay.
Because I mean, like sometimes I'll be feeling bad for her. I was like, this Armenian lady probably want to serve Armenian food, but she has to make oxtails for. She has to make oxtails and fried chicken for us. Which is like she can't do nothing authentic.
It is odd that you chose to. I mean, there's a story behind that. We'll figure that out sometime other. But
yeah.
If you're going to open a business from scratch, you choose where you can open the market at, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking, and we've gone really off the rails on our plan on this podcast session.
No, but I can make it work because I've been tracking our topics. Like this is still good. Like this is still gonna work.
But okay, so I mean, we're talking. This is really an entrepreneurship hashing session. Really, is what general entrepreneurship what it is. But if you think about it, I mean, okay, so let's one thing we're looking at right now is okay. So this is a great example. We're diving into the very, very definitive service business, right? We're going into we're going into vehicle maintenance. We're jumping into that service. We're doing it home visit style.
Yeah,
right? Our goal is to deliver it at a price point that competes with a bargain shop visit. So we want to charge you like really reasonable shop prices coming to you. Okay. But when we start that business off, we can choose where to do it, right? Because you have to. Mm-hmm. You can't just say, I do all of Southern California, because Southern California is a big place. Yes. And if you only have one set of equipment, one technician running around, you can't have the guy driving 20 miles between services because he can't get enough done in the day to make you money, right? Mm-hmm. So we got to service specific small areas. So we can choose where. And this is a great example. You don't want to choose a place where where a big chunk of people do their own work, or where a huge number of the shops charge so little that you can't compete with them. Okay. And we refer to those as the Mexican tire shops. Okay, because and if you've lived in a place like Whittier or Pico Rivera, you've seen them. You've driven by, and it's like Salgado's number 7, which is where I when I lived in Whittier, that's where I got all my tire work done.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and they're really really inexpensive. They're
Lorenzo's tires over here.
Yeah, that's another one. That's another good one. I mean, the thing is that their markup on the tires is reasonable. Okay, and their labor costs are super low, crazy low. Okay, so you don't want to do this home service business in a place that has a lot of those, because you're not going to get as many people contacting you to do the work.
And they can just drive up the street.
Yeah, because the arguments, someone's going to argue, oh yeah, but it's different. You're coming to them. So it's like someone like the people that we typically run will say, oh, it's totally different. I'll pay you more just to come to me, right? But they're saying that because that's them, and they don't live in a place like that. Okay, and the thing is that we want to target areas where people like that live, right? Because it's not. That's the funny part. I lived in Whittier, a nice part. I mean, like, Quentin, you've never been there. You've never been to my old house, have you? Raymond's been there. It's a nice area.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of money up on those hills, right?
Yep. There's a whole lot of money in this one.
And those people will still go to the Mexican tire place because it's there. I mean, like, it's convenient, right? Just
because you got money don't mean you want to spend it.
Yeah.
I love rich, cheap people.
Yeah. But the thing is, you don't find that in Pasadena. You don't find that in Beverly Hills. You don't find that in the Valley.
You don't find Mexicans in the Valley.
Pretty much, right? See, you don't find that there. I mean, like, there's a lot of shops. There's a lot of shops, but they're all really expensive. Right? You want to locate a business like this where the shops are all super high priced because you present an extreme value now, and people are going to order your service. Right. So so we're talking about comparing markets, comparing communities. We're going to open up we're going to choose a place where people won't argue our price. Right. They'll look at it and say, that's awesome, and book. Right. So, like, can we service Whittier? We could. Should we? No, because we'll get way more business heading away from where they have that kind of shop.
Right? Yeah. I was going to say, like, Culver City. And like going further into like the beach, like Venice Beach, that actually be good. Like because my son just went back to school, I'm just thinking about all the people that go to that school that got money, and you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Like I can look at some of these dudes and be like, yeah, you don't know how to do your breaks.
Yeah. and the reason why we're starting in the area around Norwalk, Downey, Cerritos, the reason we're starting there is because a lot of those shops around there are going to be Asian owned. Yep. So the Asian-owned shops are more expensive, okay, and we have a lot of connections in the healthcare community out there, and nurses and doctors don't do their own tire work.
No,
they don't do their own brake. They're not gonna do that kind of stuff. They're the kind of people who go to dealerships to get their cars serviced, and they pay way too much, right? Remember, the kind of services that we're going to be providing are not warranty covered items. They're all wear items. So even if your car is brand new under warranty, they're not going to cover your brakes. Okay. Maybe some very specific manufacturers. I think BMW has like this crazy warranty that covers everything for the first X number of years. But then again, the car is also crazy expensive. So that's why. Okay. So, that's what we're looking at doing. So that's a very clear example of when I looked at this process, I identified all these markets that we can approach, right? And I looked at their pains. And that same pain is felt across all markets because all markets of people own cars, no matter how rich you are or poor you are. If you're in America, you probably have a car, right? I mean, this is going to be funny, and I'm going to try not to be racist about it. The only people in the U.S. who don't have cars, okay, who aren't homeless, and even some of them do because they live in them, right, are people with DUIs. You know who they are because they're the ones they're the ones riding bicycles as full adults. It's like you see
riding a bus
or on a bus. It's like some dude. They're on buses, they're on bicycles. There's a percentage of people who are doing that because they can't afford a car, but there's another huge percentage because they're not allowed to drive one anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Right. And
Yeah,
you know that
well, I
guy
was
because
only
he's,
riding the bus because I was broke. But if I had a job, I was rarely riding the
yeah.
bus.
So, yeah. So that's the thing. So, so most people, I mean, 90, what was that number? 93%? Is that what we saw?
What? Oh, have cars?
Yeah.
Cars.
Yeah. 93% of American families have at least one vehicle. At least
Right.
one. Right. So no matter, I mean, it runs a spectrum. You could be super rich. You could be like, not, I mean, below the poverty line, you probably have a car. Right. And regardless of what level of money you're at, you got to take care of it. It's even more crucial to somebody with no money because you
Right.
let it go too long, the bill is going to escalate on you because of the damage you do to your own vehicle. They have to fix them. A rich person can screw up and say, "Oh man, it's going to cost me 10 times now." No big deal, right? Right? But if you're
Right.
if you got no money, you're counting every penny. You're like, "Oh man, I can ride these brakes another week and that's
Enough
it. If
with
I don't,
miles.
if I and if they don't have the money to fix it, they stop driving the car, right? If they honestly don't have the money to fix those brakes, that car is now parked in their house and they're taking the bus because until they can save money for the brake, they won't ride them until it's metal on metal because they know. Well, after the first time they did it, now they'll know that they can't do that anymore, right? But yeah, so it is a pain that transcends all markets. So we figured that out. So no matter what market we attacked, they'd have that same pain that we can solve. Right? So now we get a chance to be choosy. Geographically, where do we locate? Right? Because this is a physical business. Okay? Digital is a little bit different. Right? So this is a perfect example, Raymond. So like, we can choose to service a specific area, but we're choosing one because of an advantage over another.
Right.
See, we're actually choosing these markets not because another market has a disadvantage for us, but we're choosing because there's advantage. Like, we never even considered the option of people being complainers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we will find that out when we start doing it. And for us, it's really easy. If we determine that a market of people just will complain at every little thing, we can just leave it.
Yeah, because that's a big part of just determining the market.
Yeah.
Like I could see that rarely happening like in Norwalk or Cerritos,
Yeah.
but yeah, like some people may have like a buyer's remorse in like a lower income neighborhood because it's like I could have went up the street and paid $100 less.
Yeah, at those places. And that's the reason why we don't deal with neighborhoods like that because they're just not used to, I mean, they're accustomed to, they value the price over the convenience.
Right.
We're going to deliver convenience at a really good price.
Right.
But if you live in an area with a low cost place like that, you're probably not even going to use us anyway. Right.
True.
Like even if it's the kind of like, there are neighborhoods where it's like, oh, I can save time by having it done in my home and pay $50 more, but they'd rather spend the 3 hours or 4 hours waiting around or being inconvenienced than spending an extra $50.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we really want to avoid that. Right. So yeah, and that's the perfect example. We did heavy market research. We looked at air. I mean, like, and we've chosen the place where where the market research bears out our decision. Right.
Right.
They have the pain that we can solve. They have the purchasing power.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
And proximity wise, we can reach them because we're focusing on healthcare. We have networks within the nursing and doctor communities to be able to give us those initial business. And and then we're gonna have an affiliate partner program where if they give us referrals, they get paid out, right? Which is, I think, it's a brilliant thing because like, have you ever heard of affiliate partner programs for that kind of a service? I never have. Right? Have you ever been to a break place that said, "Hey, if you send us a client that can," and they give us your promo code?
Oh, See that's the part I guess I missed that. Yeah, if you told me like, oh yeah, if you go tell somebody, we'll give you a certain use this discount code.
Yes.
Yes, I will tell 5 people like, hey, get your brakes done by this guy. You know what
Because
I'm saying?
because it's a good. I mean, it's a win-win all around. I mean, like, it's a great value, solid job, quality products, and I mean, thing is no matter who you talk to, they get their brakes done.
Everybody gets their brakes done, but how much would the percentage be
It'll probably okay. So you guys know why affiliate exists, right? Why do affiliate programs exist?
for marketing purposes?
But what do they prevent you? So what? Why do you want to use affiliate marketing versus other forms? Affiliate marketing normally pay the amount affiliate marketing pays out is supposed to be very similar to how much you would have to similar or less than you would spend through traditional marketing. So
Right.
if your acquisition cost for a single customer is X amount, that's how much your affiliate pays out. So basically,
Yeah.
so this is what you would do. Your affiliate code would okay. So let's say that it's $450 for the service, right? $450 in total, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So your affiliate code is here's one potential way to do it. It would give it would give the new customer, right? Like let's say a 10% discount. Okay. And it would pay the referring affiliate a 10% payout. So at 450, the discount would be what's 10% of 450?
45.
$45, right? That would be the discount that the person would be receiving by providing the code. Okay. And the person whose code it is would actually be 15, would get a 5% referral fee. So basically, to us, an affiliate would mean for us losing 15% on the sale.
That's cool.
Okay, that's what it would be. Because that's approximately how much it would cost us to acquire a customer through marketing.
Yeah, it's like paying like I'm not gonna say it's marketing, like paying and marketing per sale, pretty much.
It
Is
is.
that
I
kind
mean,
of
like it's
yeah,
okay. So basically, there's an acquisition cost for a customer. So you
yeah,
average. So like I forget the number. It's a 7. It's either 70 or 700. Walmart pays an average of there's a number. It's either 70 or $700 for every time a person becomes a brand new customer of Walmart. They've spent that much on advertising. So that's how much it costs to get you in Walmart the first time. Okay, so an affiliate payout would negate that cost. So let's say that you refer Quentin, and so we try to figure out who gets the 10, who gets the 5. So 10% discount to Quentin is $45. Payout to you is 5%, which is $22. So you get $22 for referring Quentin, and Quentin gets $45 for presenting a referral code. So he gets a discount, you get a commission. So you're both winners. And we save money on marketing. We don't have to pay for ads. So instead of paying for ads, we give you, and it works perfect. It works great for people with followings. Right? So you get somebody with a big Instagram following. And basically what you do for them is there's 2 ways we can go about that. Let's say, for example, Quentin has an Instagram following of 50,000 people, right? So Quentin gets his breaks done by us. And then we discover he has a following of 50,000 people, okay? At which point we offer him the affiliate contract, okay? Other than on the flip side of things is we discover Quentin has 50,000 people and he's in the area. We reach out to him and we do a break job for him for free. Well, minus material costs, right? So basically, we charge him wholesale and break job in exchange for him presenting his becoming an affiliate and doing a series of posts marketing the affiliate. So that's a way to reach out to people with followings. Hey, man, we will do your breaks at cost in exchange for you becoming an affiliate and promoting us to your following. Okay, so that's what we would do if we're targeting influencers. Okay, and if somebody comes to us for a service and we find out that they have a good following, then we don't offer to refund them. We say, hey man, we because now he's experienced our service. Our pitch to him is you get $20 for every person who provides us the code, and you save them $45. They're gonna get their brakes done anyway. Do your people a favor, save them $45, and make $20 a pop.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If he hasn't come to us first, if we were approaching him, we got to sweeten the deal a little bit by offering him his service at a discounted rate. Because it only makes sense to refer your people to the shop if you had it done. Right? There's an integrity point there. Right? So if we approach Quentin and say, hey man, we'll do your brakes at cost. We'll do your brakes for like what was we saying? We'll do your brakes for $100 and something bucks. Okay? If you promote us to your people. At which point he may not need his brakes done right now, but he'll take it. Because heck, it's like, okay, I got my brakes done a year ago, but you're gonna do them again for me for like that cheap price. He'll get his brakes done by us, and then he'll promote it.
Right.
Right. So yeah, it's a great way to go. And of course, you can, if you have contacts at churches, you can use it as a fundraiser. Think about this way.
So we can sell the most brakes?
No. You approach a church, and the church gets an affiliate code.
You get the monies back.
Well, so what happens is this: the church gets an affiliate code, and they can flip it around. The church gets an affiliate code, and instead of giving the consumer, the referral person, so let's say that Raymond, you're the pastor of this church, and Quentin goes to the church, right? You're gonna do a break fundraiser for the church, and if you have us do your breaks, you're gonna get a 5% discount, and the church is gonna get a 10% donation.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's gonna happen now.
I get what you're saying.
So now they can flip it around. You can do that. It's just like setting up a fundraising event at Krispy Kreme. You refer the people there, and from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, your Little League team gets 10% of everything that's sold at the Krispy Kreme, and you're supposed to promote people going there. That's exactly what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
Except Krispy Kreme is all those things are optional. Getting your brakes done is not optional for somebody with a car. So if you can get your brakes done, you're going to get a discount, and the church is going to get a donation on something you have to get done anyway. And it's going to be cheap. Right? So you can do all sorts of nonprofit organizations. You can use churches, schools. You can have an affiliate contract with all those. Okay, so that's the way the word. I think that affiliate marketing is everywhere. It's normal, right? But it's not done there. You got to wonder why.
I was gonna say like it might be easier to do 20%.
Totally.
So say everybody gets like a 20% payout, because you can give 10% as a discount and 10% as a referral.
So 10 and 10?
Yeah. Because everybody's not going to get the referral. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of things, I feel like what affiliate market, it does like incentivize people. But I see what affiliate marketing is a follow-through thing.
What do you mean?
You got to put the code in order for us to give, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I think that would entice people more. Be like, hey, you'll give somebody a 10% discount, plus I'll give you 10% off of the off the sale.
Well, no, thing is this, okay? So when you incentivize them, when you actually negotiate with the person, they don't really consider that the follow-through aspect of it. So 5 or 10 is not gonna make a difference to them. So for a person who is promoting it on social media, especially, their biggest concern is giving something to their people. Right? Now, here's the thing about affiliate codes: you can have a link to go through. So So if they click the link to claim it, it goes straight in, and they'll definitely get credit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So for example, when you put an Amazon link on your site, right, an affiliate link for Amazon, what happens when they click it?
They go to the Amazon
But it
page.
goes to what? It goes to Amazon with your codes in there.
Right.
So when it goes to Amazon, anything you buy is going to have your code attached to it. So that's what we do. I mean, that's easy to do through checkout. So I mean, like, that's easy to do for affiliate program.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Because I mean, like, honestly, like, everybody who pays, like, it'll instantly generate. Like, we could just instantly give them it should instantly generate like a code, and like
Wait a minute. Here's the thing. So when a person comes, the reason why they'll use the code is they won't get the discount without it.
Right.
A $45 discount is strong enough to use the code. I mean, like, if you know that you're going to get a discount with the code. So let's say that I recommend us for this service. Make sure to use my link. Make sure to use my code or click my link to get your 10% discount.
Right.
Right. They're gonna make sure to use it.
Right.
Right. So you won't lose so much in translation. And I think that's the problem. So I mean, like, we'll experiment. We'll see what the number bears out.
Yeah, I think we're gonna experiment because I think that will work. It'll make it move quicker.
Yeah, but I mean, I think giving a payout of 5 is good enough.
You think it's good enough?
5 for sure.
I got you. I mean, like I said, let's try it because I'm just thinking like it might have been easier. Because I mean, like if you told me like, oh, I'm gonna do this. Like, hell yeah, I'm gonna promote it. You know what I'm saying? But if you tell me, oh, they get 5, they get 10, I might check out on you. I don't know. I hate to say that, but it's not. I'm not everybody, so I get it.
Well, remember, yeah, but that's the thing. Say, remember, if you have a big enough following, say, no one else is offering that. There's nobody else offering that kind of a discount on this kind of a service.
Ain't nobody offering discount on anything automotive. Remember me doing the perk EDU days. I remember I went. We trying to sign people up to give discounts to students, right? And I remember my homie, like we went to an automotive place, and this is me just I'm in sales mode. I don't care. I'm going to everybody, right? And my homie like, nigga, why are you going here? Like, you going to this mean ass Asian man? I'm like, what you talking about? He like, no, don't do it. And I did it anyway. And I'm telling you, he was a mean Asian man. And as we walking away, he like my homie like, I told you. And then you could just hear the Asian man behind us, no discount. And I was just like, you know what? All right, I get it. I'm glad I didn't understand that at that point in time.
Yeah.
But now thinking about it, like what we doing, I've never heard of anybody in the automotive industry giving out discounts for nothing.
Well, I mean, a lot of them. I mean, they actually, if you really think about it, though, they do.
They have a coupon sometimes.
What's that?
There are coupons sometimes that you'll find.
Now, remember, who gives discounts, right? The coupons are for it's gonna be for oil changes. Oil changes always have coupons. Oil changes and tires always have. Remember, it is the maintenance stuff. It's not auto repair. Maintenance has discounts. Okay, but I've never seen an affiliate discount on a maintenance service. I've always seen coupon discounts. Okay, so this would be a first that I'm seeing, right? But the reason why a lot of them don't offer discounts is because, especially if the case, so those Asian places, they're cheap for their areas.
Yep.
Right. They're cheap for their areas. Okay. And they don't need to offer a discount because, I mean, they're pretty much competitive with each other. Nobody is significantly higher priced than anybody else. Right. But they all have. So what is our advantage doing it the way we're doing it? What costs don't we have compared to them?
Brick and mortar.
What's that?
Brick and mortar location.
Yes, the location. The location can be. So why is the location so expensive?
Rent, lease.
Well, of course, there's rent, there's a lease, but why is it so expensive compared to other locations?
Wherever the location is,
like brick and mortar all have rent, right? But why is an automotive place's brick and mortar rent so much higher?
because of where they're located and
They need traffic. They're always located in high traffic spots, right? The successful ones are on street corners or near them, right? They have to be high traffic spots. They need, I mean, once again, now we're at the South Park thing. They got to make their nut.
Gotta make their nut.
Got to make their nut. And their nut's big because their rent's big.
Big nut, man.
They get big nut. Big swinging nuts.
But guess what? That's when they just start doing stuff for the nut.
Yeah. They got an expensive location because it's high traffic, and a lot of them have spent a lot of money improving that location. They've got the car lift. They got the gigantic automotive lifts. Those ain't cheap. And most of the old places bought really good ones. So they got all that stuff. They have a ton of equipment, and they're doing all sorts of jobs. I mean, like, honestly, an automotive place that's okay. So when it comes to automotive places, if you're going to invest in McDonald's, why do you do it?
Because it's proven to make money.
It's a franchise. It's a franchise proven to make money. They have a formula, right? They have a setup that will make money, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the equivalent of McDonald's in the automotive world?
Jiffy Lube.
Jiffy Lube.
Yep, that's it. Jiffy Lube. Okay, or all lube and tune. The equivalent of McDonald's are those lube places. What do? They do fluid stuff, and most of them do brake jobs. They all do preventative maintenance. Oil changes, lubrication, brake jobs.
Yeah, I'll never go to a Jiffy Lube again, though.
Are they over tighten you?
Man, I remember last time I went to a Jiffy Lube. As I drove out, my steering wheel like it spent all the way around in a circle, and I didn't know why. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah. That's when I started scouting mechanics.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't go to a Jiffy. The reason why Jiffy Lubes are so profitable is there's no diagnosis in a Jiffy Lube. If you go to Jiffy Lube, what did you go there for, Raymond?
I went there just for an oil change.
That happened.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I walked out, and my car was like that. Because sometimes they try to upsell you on stuff.
Well, but did they upsell you on something?
Yeah.
What did they upsell you on?
I forgot exactly what they upsold me on. And I was like, all right then, bro, if that's what you're saying it is, I'm going to trust you and I'm going to do it.
Well, anyway,
as soon as they finished, I tried to drive out and my steering wheel went.
Okay, so I mean that's a random weird scenario, okay?
But it was a very random weird scenario. But I'll never go to a Jiffy Lube again.
But let's take that out of our out of our discussion as you know, as entrepreneurs and business owners. We want to take out the outlying stuff out because weird stuff happens on occasion, okay? Whether it happens or other people, weird stuff happens, okay? That shouldn't be a reason not to want to invest in a Jiffy Lube.
Okay? Oh, yeah. I'm not saying I wouldn't invest in it.
But let's take that out because that's not what we were here to talk about. Like, so Jiffy Lubes, the reason why it's a business that you can franchise is that they don't diagnose anything. Nobody goes to a Jiffy Lube because their check engine light's on. That's not what they do. Mm-hmm. Okay, you go to a Jiffy Lube because you need your oil changed, or you need your brakes done. Because they do brakes. Like there's a Jiffy Lube up here. I was driving by it, and they have their services, brake jobs, oil changes, preventative maintenance. Okay, your car is making a loud scratching sound. That's coming from one of your brakes. That's coming from one of your wheels, right? It's probably your brakes. Okay, the Jiffy Lube will do that, right? They don't have to diagnose anything, right? They can look at it and say, "Oh man, look that bit." How do you diagnose whether or not you need new brakes? Okay, the sound is a possible giveaway, right? But when you drive a car in and you tell them, oh, it's making a squeaking sound, how do they diagnose whether or not you need brakes? Okay, they lift the car up, take off the tire, and look at the pad. Do you need brakes? You can actually take the pad out and look at it and see how much is left, and you know whether or not brakes are needed. It's simple. You either need brakes or you don't. You either need new rotors or you don't. You either need an oil change or you don't. Right? None of that requires diagnosis. Unlike a check engine light. Your check engine light comes on, they got to figure out why. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's the reason. Okay, so Jiffy Lube and places like that, there is times of the year or times of the week where there's a line there. Have you ever been to a Jiffy Lube with a line? You've seen a Jiffy Lube with a line? I've seen it all the time. There's a line. It's like buying donuts, right? Like Krispy Kreme, the light came on, it's fresh, right? And there's a big ass line, right? Same thing with Jiffy Lube, there's a line. Or a car wash, there's a line, right?
Mm.
You get in line at Jiffy Lube, and they basically you're in and out in 15 minutes, right? So you figure there's like 6 cars in line, that's like an hour or something, right? And Jiffy Lube has invested that money. They basically have it set up so that they can easily change your oil in 15 minutes. Okay. That's why we're stepping into this business, because it's preventative maintenance. We don't diagnose squat. We're not mechanics, right? Our guys don't need, Jiffy Lube guys don't need, none of them, well, not none of them, most of them can't diagnose your engine. You can say, I've seen people at a Jiffy Lube trying to talk to the guy while he's doing the work. Oh, the car's making this weird sound when I turn the car left. That guy doesn't know squat about that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh, when I started up, it revs real high for a while and then it settled. He doesn't know about that. He knows how to change your oil. That's about it. And that's the beauty about that business, right? But guys like the Asian mechanic that Raymond was talking a second ago, right? Those guys diagnose problems in your car.
Yeah.
They have a shop set up to do more than oil changes and brake jobs. They have a shop that's set up to do a lot of different things, and they have to pay for that. So because of the cost that it took to get into that business, the rent that they're paying, they don't do discounts. And it's funny, if you look at all the if you look at all the automotive places in a specific area, their costs are all about the same. I don't want to say they're price fixing or that they colluded, but there's as a business owner, you don't want to rock the boat, right? Because there's enough business to go around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, geez, okay, so we've gone way long on just one series topics. We're not going to hit the rest. It's midnight. I need to be up. So we're going to have to hit more stuff.
Well, we still got more topics that we can go over.
We do.
Run back through those.
No, yeah, I think like send it to me and I'll show you like through the editing, because like I think this is probably going to be our format, because it's more of like letting it flow, because we're already going to have an entertaining conversation regardless.
I know we got, but what we got to do though is we definitely have to, because we let it flow, but it's all about one topic really. It's an entrepreneurship thing.
It is, but it has subtopics. It has. It like pretty much like that's what I'm saying. Like how I would edit this is like the main theme and like the main like video is going to be life after the pandemic, and then now we have subtopics: the food industry after the pandemic, movies after the pandemic.
Yeah, we have that. Yeah.
Like it's already like it's different subtopics in it. The brake industry. You know what I'm saying? Like we have
markets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How to break down a market. Like there's a lot of content already in just the couple hours. It's more than like 4 or 5 clips.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying like just send it to me. I'll figure it out.
I'll send it over to you. But let's try to get discipline for our format so that we can. So what I'm gunning at is trying to get something that doesn't need as much work in post. Know what I mean?
It's not a lot of work in post.
I mean, you're gonna have to go back and forth. The topics kind of meandered a little bit, didn't they?
No,
they didn't.
Kind of stayed on one topic.
That's what I'm saying.
We dug into one topic for a little while. Yeah.
Okay.
This is literally to edit this. All I gotta do is watch it one time.
Okay. We'll see how that pans out. Now delivery in terms of getting it to you. What do you think? How's the best? Like,
I gotta show you how to send. You send anywhere.
Okay.
So, you download it. I mean, you don't have to download it. You can actually do it from your desktop. It's just once you finish the stream, and I guess it's already broken up into 2 parts, which is good. You go to the it's a website called Send Anywhere, and it'll allow you to upload it. I don't know if it's a maximum, because that's what I'm saying. Like this file size might be like 10 gigs. Because I noticed like one of the things with OBS files be big.
Yeah.
But you go to Send Anywhere, and pretty much like it'll upload it and it'll give you a PIN number. You send the PIN number to me, and on my side, I'll put the PIN number in where, like, I'll probably download it on this computer because it's gonna be faster.
Yeah.
Download it on this computer, and then it transfers way quicker.
Okay.
Depending on the file size, I know like I did like 2-3 gigs in less than 10 minutes.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Okay, so we'll figure out the outros and everything. But yeah, I think we had a good session. We recorded it. I mean, that's the thing. We recorded it. That's the big thing.
Yep.
Okay, so we're out. Cool, yeah, because it's I didn't realize what time it was.
Yeah, it's midnight, man.
It flowed pretty well.
It felt great. I liked it.
Felt good. Awesome. Cool, guys.